Well, good morning. Hello, everyone. Guess what? We're here. We are here at the annual Pain and Glory Incorporated Women's Health and Wellness Expo. Listen, listen, we are super excited. What you see on your screen, who you see on your screen, you may not see the actual crowns, but listen, these are some amazing royal ladies. I'm telling you, and you're in for a treat. So if you haven't already done so, I need you to go ahead and hit that share button. I need you to make sure that other people know about this. If when you hit the share button, it says copy link, just copy the link and put it in your social media platform. That's all you got to do. If it says share to your whatever it says for you, I want you to do that, right? I am Chelselia Cookie Payne. I am the founder of Pain and Glory Incorporated. And when I tell you I'm elated to be here, that is an understatement. Listen, 2 years ago, almost to the day, 2 years ago, we hosted our last live in person, I should say, our last in person Women's Health and Wellness Expo, and it was amazing. It was amazing. A few days later, you all know what happened. We all was sitting inside, like Grandmama told us, get inside somewhere and sit down. That's what the whole country, the whole globe was told. We all were told get somewhere and sit down, and so we did that. But listen, here we are in this virtual atmosphere, sharing not only words of wisdom, encouragement, inspiration. These are topics we need to be talking about. Like seriously. The tagline says mind, body, and soul. And listen, we're covering all of that. We want the entire woman impacted, right? We want the mind, the emotion, and the heart to be all right. We want the physical body, the things that we're not talking about. Lean in. Come here. You. I'm talking about you. Lean in. We're talking about the stuff we need to be talking about, right? And then we're going to be talking about the things that affect our everyday, our business lives, how to get that in order. Some of us have great business minds, great business ideas, great business, but we don't have the business acumen. We don't have the tips and tools and strategies. So guess what? We're going to get it here. Welcome to the 2022 Women's Health and Wellness Expo. Let's get into it. So I'm glad you got a chance to see all the pretty faces. You're going to see them again, but right now they're all going to go away for a minute. Just 1 minute. But they're going to come back, I promise you, because we're going to bring forth our first speaker. That's why. That's nothing big. Listen, I see you all saying good morning and hello. Good morning and hello to everyone. Listen, before we get into the first speaker, let me tell you something. Let me tell you why it's so important that you share and tell other people about what's going on. Let me tell you something. Because these ladies that you see here, there's going to be some giveaways, and they're giving away stuff. They're giving away stuff, right? And so, all right. I apologize. And so they're going to be giving away some stuff, and I want you guys to be able to get in on what they're giving away. I'm not talking about some rinky dink stuff. I don't know where you're going, where you're getting this rinky dink stuff from. Let me stop. Anyway, anywho, we're giving away some stuff. And so you got to be here to get it. We're giving away, there's t-shirts being given away, there's a book being given away, there's coaching, free coaching that I'm talking, this is that we're up into the $1,000 worth of value here that you're going to be getting. So I hope that you are one of the people that registered online, because I'm going to look at the list of who registered. I hope that you're sticking and staying with us, because I'm going to be looking at who's commenting, who's engaged with us. So if you're already engaged with us, I see some of you are saying good morning. I want to see you put up your favorite emoji. If you're here with us and you're in here with us and you're ready to rock and roll with us on this Health and Wellness Expo, go ahead and put up some emojis, whatever your favorite one is. If it's hearts, if it's praying hands, if it's, I don't know what your favorite emoji is, but I want to see you put up some, either put up some hearts I'll put up some emoji. There we go. I see you guys. I see you. I see you. I see you. So listen, I'm going to get us started with our first speaker. So our first speaker, interestingly enough, of all the people on this entire panel, this is the only person that I have known for over 3 decades. But of course, we were children. We were just children. We were just children. But anywho, this is only our second time ever working together in all this time, and she is such a walking sunshine. And I'm not just saying that. This woman is going to share with you. You'll see. I don't even have to tell you. You'll already see. But Beth Sprinkles Goodman, she is the confidence cultivator. Cultivate her. She is dual certified in Christian and personal life coaching. She's an entrepreneur and professional speaker. She believes that there's nothing wrong with being confident, okay? Because God is with you. You cannot fail. So I am elated to have with us our very first speaker of the morning, our precious Beth Goodman, Beth Sprinkles Goodman. Welcome to the platform, Beth. Thank you so much, my dear, for being with us. So, Beth, just a moment. You're muted, so I need you to.
Good morning. Now, can you hear me? Good morning, and tons of sprinkles, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. The name of the event speaks life itself: health and wellness. The first words of health and the first letters of wellness: heal well. Heal well. So many times we forget to do that. Heal well. And a lot of it comes from and stems from the source of confidence. What's wrong with being confident? Nothing. No thing is wrong with being confident because God is with you and me. We cannot fail. And the moment we accept that and completely embrace that we cannot fail, we then should understand it is time to go and do what it is that we desire. We cannot any longer allow our past, things that have been holding us back, keeping us back, because we have to heal well. We have everything within us to do just that. So I say to you today, some people say, well, I don't have confidence. Confidence is like a muscle. The more you work, the more you work it, the stronger it gets, just like our faith. When you have that confidence, it begins from a place of peace. Peace is literally the root and foundation of confidence because we are always saying, well, I can't do this. I can't. That is not true because we can do all things, AWLL, all things, not some things, but all things. Number one, through Christ who strengthened us. Number two, that God is with us. We cannot fail. So we can do all things. So when we're thinking about what we think we can't do, we really can. We have to just come to a place where we accept, you know, if I did this thing, if I said this thing, what's on the other side of this for me? You have to take the bigger picture. Number one, first point, see your bigger picture. What is it that's holding you back from being you? What is holding you back from being the person that you see in the mirror, the person that you dream about? Girl, I'm this, girl, I'm that. What's keeping you? Once you identify what that is, that's the start. Because it is just something simply that you believe. And in the same way that you believe it, you can be and leave it. Hello, somebody. You can be what you think in your heart and in your mind and leave what is behind you, and become and walk into your full destiny with peace and in confidence. Number two, shift your mind. As a man or woman thinketh, so is she. What you think, you become. And what you become is what you think. If you think and settle for a person who is lacking, if you think and settle for a person that doesn't have and can't do, you're going to be exactly that. Can't do, won't do. It's all on you, boo. As a man, woman thinketh, so is she. Become the she that you're supposed to be. Become that she. Become that person that you know God has called you to be, that you desire. And the other part of it is don't compare yourself to anyone or anything because you, my love, are fearfully and what? Wonderfully made. There is nothing negative about you. God has so much intention with how He designed you, your eyes, your thighs, your legs, your personality. All of those things help to represent Him in the earth through you. That's number two. Number three, just do it. Just do it. I know. Nike's got the hook on just do it. But let me tell you something. Before Nike had it, we had it. God had it. Just do it. You can do all things, as I stated earlier, all things. Just do it. The moment you address whatever it is that fear is, that false evidence appearing real, whatever you immediately identify it, guess what? It's gone. Even today, us on here as speakers, we have a little bit of anxiety and excitement because it's something new and wonderful and like, oh, it's on. But the reality is, we had to press beyond the false evidences appearing real in our lives so that we could show up and shine, so that we could show up for the you to be able to see the light that you too have. And that's what is necessary. Just do it, whatever it is, because once you've done it, you're on the other side of it. What's wrong with being confident? Nothing, nada, nuka, no thing. Nothing is wrong with being confident. And when you get sassy with it, you have to understand you can do all things. You can do all things, not some things, all things. So then you put some little sass, you sprinkle it a little bit. What's wrong with being confident? Confidence, because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And once you really embrace it, then you wear your confidence. You wear it wherever you go. You put it on because you embody yourself. You stand up in it with authenticity. You're undeniable. Your confidence is birthright. Put your shoulders back, put that chest up, and that crown that she mentioned, shift your crown and show up and shine. Be that light on the hill that cannot easily be hidden because there are jewels and gems in you. There are jewels and gems in, yes, you that someone else is waiting for. What's wrong with being confident? Nothing, nothing. When you wear your confidence, you wear it well. Get it? You wear it well. Heal well. You wear your confidence well. And I am the confidence cultivate her. It's my purpose to help you and support you, encourage you, and strengthen you to identify those places that have dried up, to identify, get in there and till up those grounds, because underneath that hard layer of your past beliefs, thoughts, and actions, there is subtle, and fertile ground under there with seeds of greatness, seeds of purpose. And my job is to dig it up, shake it up, and sprinkle it while you stand and you push through with your most confident and authentic self. Wear your confidence. Understand there's nothing wrong with being confident. You have been made the way you're made and stand in it. Your past is just that, your past. It's behind you. The only way that it gets acknowledgement is if you look back at it. That's the only way. Memories, things that people have said and done are only relevant when we bring them to the forefront. And if you don't bring them to the forefront, they remain where they are because you are now standing in your confidence. And again, there's nothing wrong with being confident, and wear it well as you heal. During this time, during the pandemic, we've all had to spend a great deal of time with ourselves. We've come to know some things about ourselves that we didn't know. We've had to acknowledge. And now, standing with peace, standing on the foundation of peace, it's time for your confidence to rise. It's time for you to step and walk into all that you have been destined to be. And I am here to support you. I am here to cultivate that confidence. I am opening up. I have opened up 12, I think 12 or 20 slots. I have opened up, I moved some things around where I can serve women. Um, and I'm excited about it. As you will see on the screen a little later, if you reach out to me and connect with me at confidence cultivate her at gmail.com. I'm wonderful. Excited about being able to serve and support because it's time. It's time to show up and shine in your most confident and authentic person. Don't forget, address it, identify it, speak it, and then be it. Believe that you are who you are inside. It's just not that little person, that imaginary, oh, well, if I was smaller, I would wear this. Oh, or if my hair were longer, I would do this. Oh, if I had money, I would do this. No, sir, no, ma'am. You have it now. There's no if. That same person, that same woman of greatness is within you now. So let's go forth. Let's do it. Life is too short on this journey called purpose. So fulfill it with confidence based on peace. And email me at cultivate confidence, cultivate her at gmail.com. Get yourself in there, get into a 30-minute confidence cultivation conversation, and let's get this started. It's right time. Happy New Year. 2022 is all about you. Wear your confidence and wear it well. You wear it well, you wear it well. Heal well. Health and wellness. It all begins with you. Sprinkles!
Listen, that was awesome. And I'm loving the comments that are coming in, not only from our group page, our main Pain and Glory page, from uh, YouTube. Listen, you were sprinkling knowledge this morning. Listen, we are all ready to heal well. And I
Yes,
need you guys, as you're listening on, you all heard Beth say some wonderful things. And you see she has an amazing t-shirt. One of the things that's going to be given away today is something that's coming from Beth. So I need you to stay on because she's going to be, there's a giveaway that's attached to Beth. So I want you to stay on. We're going to be giving away very soon. So again, Beth, thank you. You did
thank you.
that. We heal well with
Yes,
confidence. With confidence.
yes, yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we listen. I told y'all. I don't know why y'all thought I was joking around, but I wasn't kidding. This is how we're starting off the Women's Health and Wellness Expo. And so I'm elated because I get to sit here not only as the host, and you'll hear from me later, but I get to sit here as a participant and enjoy and soak up just like you guys. So if you are just joining, if you're just tuning in, I need you to hit that share button. Let your business bestie, let your girlfriend, your sister, your auntie, your mama, your grandmama, all of them know that we're on, because there's some things that's today that is going to help us to do exactly what Beth said, and that is to heal well, right? So our next special guest, I had the opportunity to. You ever meet someone on this called social media, right? And you feel like, man, I really connect with this person. I feel like I already know this person. And this is how this has been for this young lady. We got on the phone, we had a conversation, and it just has really grown from there. Our next speaker is one who I just admire, and we haven't even really to kind of dive in like I would like to dive in, but I'm sure after hearing her today, I'm going to get what what I'm looking for, right? I have the honor of presenting to you Miss Keisha Way. Keisha is a business strategist that helps service-based providers grow and apply and help apply scale with systems. I am elated to have this great woman, because although she is amazing at what she does, she's actually behind the scenes helping us to bring this to pass right now, right? But what she has to share with us as pertains to our health and well-being, as we are talking about health and wellness, right? I am elated to bring before you Miss Keisha Way. Welcome to the platform, Keisha.
Hello, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
Whew. Okay, good morning, everyone. Miss Beth, you have definitely started us off right. I want to sprinkle some stuff around in the air. My name is Keisha Way, as Miss Cookie has already said. I want to thank you, Miss Cookie, for the opportunity to share and be a part of this great panel. I know that everything that the ladies are going to be speaking on today is definitely going to touch me as well as our audience. So we're not going to, delay the time. I want to share my testimony with you, and then you'll see how it became full circle of doing some of the things that I do. Back in 2017, life was happening for me, right? A mother, a wife, working full time. And then all of a sudden, my body started to change. Things were happening within inside of my body. And being the overachiever that I am, I continued to work hard, take care of my children, be there for my husband. And I kind of put myself on the back burner. And when I put myself on the back burner, my husband started to notice something's going wrong, something's changing. What's going on with your body? My body was changing right before my eyes. I'd gone to the doctor a couple of times just to kind of figure out some things. And my doctor really couldn't tell me what was going on. Well, she told me, she said, I think you're severely constipated. That's a real word we need to talk about, right? So she gave me some over-the-counter medication, some things that I needed to use, and it was not helping. So she suggested that I go in and I have a colonoscopy. So at the age of 40, on November 3rd of 2017, I go in and have a colonoscopy, and the doctor comes out and he reveals to me that I have a tumor and that the tumor is cancerous. So can you imagine at the age of 40, 2 children, living my life, being a wife, and someone disclosing to you that you have cancer later, to find out that this cancer was stage 4 colon cancer, because not only was it in my colon, it was also in my lymph nodes and in my liver as well. Within about 6 months, probably less than 6 months, my brother was also diagnosed with cancer. So imagine a sister and a brother both going through this at the very same time. I would say, unfortunately, my brother is not here, but I'm not going to say unfortunately, because I want you all to know that there are two types of healing that God does. He heals on earth and then he heals in heaven. So my brother is in heaven watching down right now, and then I am here on earth being able to share with you. So I know that God saved me for a particular reason. I went through so much, but guess what? I never lost my faith in God. So therefore, being healthy is a form of taking care of your body, having a relationship with God as well. Because had I not known God in this situation, I can tell you, I may have lost my mind. I may have lost my mind, but I was determined. God faithfully prepared me before I even walked into that room to have that colonoscopy. Before I even walked into that room 10 days later to have surgery, to have a portion of my colon removed. Before I even went into an oncologist's office to be told that I would have to have 12 rounds of chemotherapy. And in the midst of having those 12 rounds of chemotherapy, I would then have to go in and have another surgery to have a portion of my liver removed. But God, but God, I am here today because God decided that He wanted to save me on this side. So therefore, I get to share with you the importance of having a relationship with Him, the importance of taking care of your body in the midst of taking care of others. When I say this self-care thing is real, when she talks about mind, body, and soul, you have to take care of your own mind, body, and soul before you can take care of anyone else's. It's just like when you get on that airplane and they tell you to put your mask on first, you put your mask on first to make sure that you are taken care of so that you can be here to take care of others. I can tell you, I had a slew of people that came in and helped my husband and I out during this time. But me being the person that I am, I still like to be in somewhat of control, right? So I put systems in place during that time of this diagnosis. Most people would have been like, okay, let me just let everybody take care of me. I did let them take care of me, but I knew my household still had to run. So in order for my household to run, I implemented systems. I utilized what they call a smartphone, and I made sure that I used my Google Calendar. I utilized text messages and I scheduled text messages for important things that needed to be done. So therefore, everyone was in the loop and they knew exactly what was going on at all times. And for those that were not up on smartphones, best believe there was a wall calendar that was right there next to my door, another system that was put in place. You see, the system that God allowed to be saved was my body, right? So I had to learn to eat better. I had to learn to drink more water. I had to learn to spend more time with Him. I had to learn. It's almost like being a baby again. You're learning how to do things as a brand new person. And that is exactly what I did. So with March being Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, I am here to give you awareness about colon cancer. My brown skin, well, a lot of times we get overlooked when it comes to any form of cancer. Colon cancer is thought of as an old man's disease, but as you can see, a female at 40 years old can be diagnosed with colon cancer as well. So with March being Colon Cancer Awareness Month, I want to make sure that you are aware of your family history. A lot of times people don't want to talk about why grandma died, but you need to know your family history. Ask the questions that need to be asked. Ask the questions that need to be asked. Although my cancer was not genetically formed, it was a spontaneous form of cancer, you still want to make sure that you know your family history. Number two, I want you to pay attention to your body. If something is going on within your body, if you are fatigued, if you are constipated, if you are just seeing some changes that don't feel right, you have stomach cramps, you feel as though you're full, but yet you're not full. I need you to be an advocate for yourself. Talk to your doctor. Make sure you express everything that is going on with you. Because imagine, my cancer was diagnosed at stage 4. I'd gone to the doctor several times and they couldn't figure out what was going on. So I need you to make sure that you are being an advocate for yourself, right? Don't ignore the signs when it comes to your body. So what are you going to do? You're going to know your family history, and you're going to make sure that you're not ignoring your body. And there's something else that you need to do. You need to get screened. They say that you should be getting screened at 45. Had I waited till 45, which I'll be 45 on next Sunday, had I waited till 45, would I be here? Maybe not. So I want to encourage you to make sure that you get screened. When you know your family history, and if there is history of colon cancer in your family, like I was diagnosed at 40, my children have to start getting screened at 30. So therefore, they have to be screened 10 years prior to when I was actually diagnosed. So some may look at me and wonder, did she really go through this? Yes, I did. People are not going to always look like what they are going through. And I can tell you, majority of the time I looked just like this, and no one knew that I was going to a oncologist office every 2 weeks, getting chemo, wearing a pump home that pumped medication into my body for 2 days after I left that oncologist office. So I'm here to tell you right now, take care of your body. Don't ignore the signs, and know your family history. So I talked about systems, right? Simple systems that I incorporated into my life when a diagnosis came about. Well, I get to do that with inside of business now as well, because I truly feel that it's a reflection of our life. So, what I have to offer you, if you are interested in learning a little bit more about systems, I have a free masterclass, Systems to Master in 2022. So, I want to invite you to actually take a part of that free masterclass. All you have to do is sign up. Once you sign up, you'll be able to get access to that masterclass right away, right? Because this is going to help you with the inside of your life, your home, and inside of your business. So, Miss Cookie, that is my time. I thank you again for being able to share my testimony on your platform. And I look forward to hearing the rest of the ladies, because like I said, Miss Beth has already sprinkled her joy around. So I'm excited to hear the rest of the ladies speak as well. Thank you.
Keisha, oh my goodness. I'm sitting here, but I'm trying to stay seated. But listen, when you gave your testimony, all glory to God. Like that,
Yes.
that's what when you're in church, you want to stand up. That was one of those. I'm about to stand up, but I gotta stay seated right here. But listen, there was a praise party going on. I applaud you not only for shedding light on what we need to do as far as asking the questions of our family, because you're right, we don't talk about what's going on in the family, right? You also talked about something that was important. The guidance is by this age you need to be tested. But what about when you're exhibiting symptoms like you were? And what blessed me was when you said, and I got tissue right here beside me in case I needed it, when you said your birthday is coming up.
Mhm.
Listen, that's powerful. That's powerful. What I do ask you to do, because you gave out some good information, I want to make sure people have it. So when you get a moment, I need you to type in the chat so that people can see how they can get connected to that master class that you were speaking of. Because I
Okay.
want people to, well, all right. Well, she said she had systems, y'all. There it is. I told you that she was handling the behind the scenes. So there it is. So thank you again, Keisha. This was absolutely amazing. I'm seeing all the comments that are coming in. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, thank you so much.
You're
So
welcome.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So listen, we are going to, I don't know how, but I'm going to move on to our next speaker. And don't forget, there's going to be some giveaways. I don't want to give them away yet, but there's going to be some giveaways, and the giveaways are actually coming up. And one of them you just heard about. Like, if you don't jump on what Keisha just offered, if you don't jump on that, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. Systems is what helps us. The Bible is full of systems, right? Our lives are full of systems. If you work on a job or you own your own business, systems are in place. From our head to our feet, there are systems. We have a lymphatic system. We have our nervous system. Don't get me started into our whole systems. So because we are made up of systems. To make anything function properly, we need the systems to work properly. And in doing so, get with Keisha so that she can help you in that process. She offered you a free masterclass. Jump on that. So, whoo, I'm so excited. Can y'all see why now? So if you haven't already, I need you to hit that share button. I keep saying that because there's a prize for those who are sharing. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to put it out there, but I just put it out there. So there's prizes for different things that if you're following along with what I'm saying, there's different prizes for people who are following instructions and adhering to the systems. So our next speaker, I'm elated. Listen, this young lady, I had the opportunity after after becoming engaged with her in conversation to follow her on social media, and this woman is something. Like with the S on her chest and the cape, the whole thing, she is doing it. And so I'm excited to introduce to you all Monet Marcia. She is a certified life coach, helping people tell a new story about their journey after experiencing life altering trauma. Sit with that for a minute. Monier's unique and custom approach helps her clients integrate alternative thinking methods and new ideas into their day-to-day lives in an effort to change the habits and setbacks that stand in the way of their progress. This methodology is what she calls the post-traumatic growth mindset. Put your seatbelts on, get your pen and paper ready, your tablet, whatever you're going to take notes with, because this is going to be something that we need. This is a necessary conversation. We don't talk about trauma much. We wear it like a badge, but we don't talk about it. And so we have someone here that's going to help us on today. Monet, thank you so much for being a part of today's event.
Thank you, OMG. This has been so amazing so far. First off, we're talking about confidence. We're definitely going to need confidence to do this growth that I'm talking about because you know what? It's really hard to even talk about. First off, I've experienced trauma. We all have. I mean, we are humans. This is our human experience. So we've experienced something. And then we talked about what was going on in our body. And now, what I want to do is I want to talk about what's going on up here. I remember there was a time my daughter's father was murdered. And I went about doing all the things like Superwoman. You know, I'm a strong, independent woman. I'm a strong woman that know God. I'm a strong woman that can pray. I can do this. I can do that. So I went to go help everyone. I helped my children take care of it. I helped his other children to take care of it. I helped the other family members. I was stopping all the things that was going on. Everybody was bickering and this was happening, this was happening. And I'm just running around doing everything. Now remember, it is my child's father. So we did have a relationship in this life, but I wasn't taking care of me. I wasn't taking care of my own feelings, my own heart, the trauma that I felt, the grief. I wasn't even mourning that person's loss. I love that man. But instead, I was just running around and around and around. And then, because this is what it does, it hits us like a ton of bricks. So I want to talk today about our emotional health. I want to talk about what is it that we need to do to keep our emotions together. Because I know this to be sure, sometimes us people of faith, we just try to pray. But there's this saying in the Bible that faith without what is what? I need y'all to go ahead and fill in those blanks because I'm sure some people on here know what I'm talking about. So, emotional health is literally just how we think and we feel. It's our ability to handle life events and choose. Remember, it's a choice to choose to acknowledge our emotions. Now, I'm not trying to say we're supposed to be happy all the time. I see y'all putting it in there. Faith without works is dead. So it doesn't mean we got to be all happy go lucky, like cheery all the time. I love my smile. I'm never giving that up. However, life does bring some things, some challenges. I'm dealing with one right now. I may share it with you if throughout this story. But one thing that I know to be true is if we do not acknowledge what is going on within our bodies, and I love so much that Keisha just told us our bodies is telling us something that's going on. Now imagine that there is scientific proof that when we do not acknowledge the negative emotions in our body, it actually can create dis-ease. So sometimes that disease that we're feeling in our body is because we have been stuffing down so many things for so many years. And it's just been stacking up over and over and over and just causing our bodies to crumble. And now I want to free all of us from that. We do not have to do that anymore. Can I get an amen? All right, I just went to church on here because this is the way I'm feeling today. So, what happens when you do not acknowledge it? What happens when you decide that, you know what, I'm just going to run around? I got this big S on my chest. I can do anything. I can do everything I need to do. Well, that's right. The body keeps the score of trauma. Come on, tell it. When we do that, we avoid it and we resist it, and that emotions and that pain just continues to flow within us. That's not what we want. So it's important to acknowledge what is happening. It's important to acknowledge that grief that was going on. So after I just spent all that time, literally months, ignoring my own grief, ignoring my own mourning, it came. And then when it came, I was shut down. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't feed myself. I couldn't go to work. My business was suffering. And I was like, what's going on? And I just start to feel the hurt and the pain. And I was like, I think I've been avoiding the fact that I'm grieving. That someone that I know that was I was really close to for 8 years is no longer here. And I think I want to acknowledge that. And so I had to actually spend that time doing the thing that a lot of us is not taught to do is to acknowledge our emotions. Because you know what? A lot of us, I know in my household, we was told to shut up, sit down, suck it up, buck it up, figure it out. You're going to get over this. Get over it now. But I don't teach that. We don't have to get over it, right? We can actually allow that pain to be with us. We can pray it through. We can think it through. We can meditate it through. We can do all of that, but we have to acknowledge that it's there and we can bring it along for the ride. So when we bring it along for the ride, guess what? Now we're able to say, that thing did not kill me. That hurt that I had, it did not kill me. That despair that I felt, it did not kill me. That grief that I'm going through, it didn't kill me. I actually know that I can feel it and allow it to be there. I can acknowledge that it's there and start right at the beginning of saying, I see you. I see you. And so I want to make sure that if people haven't done this before, if you have not spent the time literally looking at what your emotions are, because, at the beginning of my journey with this, I couldn't even tell you what I was feeling. And you know why? Because I have been avoiding it my whole life. So I literally had to go and get a feelings wheel and look at it and be like, okay, because of course we know happy, we know sad, we know glad, we know angry, but what else is it? What else is that we can call out? Because a lot of times these days I'm ecstatic, I'm exuberant. My vocabulary of emotions has grown because I've learned to actually allow what is sitting in here to process it and not just ask it and wish it away. Because if I can deal with it, if I can handle it, I can actually grow from it. I can allow it to be within me. And when it shows up, like people that have that anxiety, I put anxiety on my backpack and I'll be like, come on, let's go. You don't got to go nowhere. I'm going to put you in the back seat. I'm going to buckle you up because you don't run my life. I get to choose how I want to feel today. You do not run my life. I get to choose. So when I talk about emotional health, I'm really talking about acknowledging how we're feeling and not just trying to push it down and not just trying to make it go away. Let's pay attention to what's happening in our bodies because it's trying to tell us something. And if it's telling us something, that means we should pay attention. And then once we pay attention, we can allow it to go through, we can process it. We can say, hey, I see you're here. Why are you here? We can ask it questions. What are you trying to tell me? Was it something that I should be paying attention to? Sometimes it's even saying that we need to get rid of some things in our lives. Sometimes it's saying we need to add more things into our lives. Sometimes it's saying we're depleted and we need to go read and build ourselves back up. Sometimes we need to get around community so that they can build us up. It's literally giving us a message. And if we pay attention to it, now we get a chance to say, all right, I am controlling this instead of it controlling me. Okay? We do not. Yes, I love that. Aisha Brown says, I no longer suffer in silence because we don't have to. And you know what? There is no shame. Let's just go ahead and debunk that right now. There is no shame in sharing what you're feeling. There's no shame. So after you acknowledge it and you call it out, you're like, okay, fear, you trying to show up, but we already know what you're going to do. Okay, shame, you trying to tell me because I didn't make this decision that now I can't go do this. Now that ain't right. So once we call it out, we say what it is. We let it be what it is. We have to pay attention to what it is. We call it out. Then we take our time and we got to think it through. And we ask it some questions. We say, what do you want? What are you trying to teach me? How can I get you to get to where I want to be? So just like every day, I wake up. I'm not going to say every day. Y'all like it to be my morning routine, but I ain't here lying. This is not my ministry to be lying. A lot of the days I wake up and I get what I have is a gym journal. And it just really is just talking about the grace that I give myself every day, right? I encourage myself every day. I allow myself to manage what these emotions are that shows up because in the morning there are so many lies that my brain want to tell me that, you know what, you're not good enough. That's a lie. You can't do this. Well, that's a lie. Today is going to be the worst day of your life. Well, that's a lie. You know, it's like it just tries to give me all the things to say, you're not ready for the world. You're not ready for today. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not right. So after I give it a chance to just try to tell me what it's going to do, then I go and I manage it. I'm like, okay, well, this is what I am choosing to do today. This is how I am showing up today. This is how I am going to say today is going to be X, Y, and Z. Today, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Today, I am amazing. Guess what? I am enough today. I am enough yesterday. I am enough tomorrow. And I actually use that as my fuel to go every step of the way. So when you think about your emotional health, if you get nothing more from this, I want you to stop, if you have been, avoiding what is hurting. Allow that hurt to show up. Get the ugly cries in. Y'all, I'm finna tell y'all. So right now, I'm in a state where my mom is transitioning and we had to put her in hospice yesterday, 2 days ago. And it's a very difficult process to go through for me. It's first time, never experienced that before. And I love her so much, like she's my boo. And so I allow myself to have the ugly cries about it. And then I allow myself to smile and remember the amazing memories. And then I allow myself to be a mess in it too. And I allow myself to still show up and know that during this process where it is a challenge, because I'm talking about emotional health, life doesn't stop just because there's things going on, but I'm allowing myself to go through all those processes at the same time. And it's freeing and it's loving, it's beautiful, it's ugly, it's scary, it's hard. But because I know that I'm enough and I'm spending the time going through paying attention to my emotional health, I can show up today and share what is working, what is happening, what is my life of cultivating the freedom over things that want to hold me back. The things that want to tell me that I can't do this because, life is hard, because we have dealt with trauma and challenges, right? Because we believe that sometimes we can't do the things that we need to do. Sometimes we just have to remind ourselves and create, just like our friend Keisha said, systems. Okay, but this is our mindset system. So I love when we add both of those together. Come on, powerful, empowered women. We got this. So we have to pay attention to our emotional health. It is so prevalent, especially for women, and we have so many things to give, and we're always giving to others. It's time for us to give back to ourselves first, so we can fill ourselves up and walk out with a cup that's full enough to be able to give to someone else. And when we're not full, be okay with that emotion that says, you know what? I'm depleted. I need to go get my community. I need to go get help. I need to go to expos. I need to go listen to other ways that I can do this, right? And I let it all just pour in together. One of the things that I am going to be launching in next month, my birthday is in April, and I love it because I love my birthday. I mean, it's like a celebration, it's my holiday. I am going to be launching my Cultivating Freedom program. And in this one, oh my gosh, it's literally just an e-course that walks you right through exactly the things that I went through, exactly giving myself grace even when things were hard, learning to trust myself over and over again, remembering that I do make good choices for me, learning to reconnect with my soul, learning to reconnect with the thing that tries to split it and say, oh, you have to compartmentalize your own self because, you have to be like this in the workplace, and you have to be like this with your children. You have to be like this with your spouse, and you have to be like this at church. And you have to be like, and instead I can just be one human being. That's what I am, a human being, reconnecting with my soul. And then learning what it really feels like to go into that place of growth where every day, I'm building myself up. I'm building myself up. This has been such a great time. I hope you continue to stay to the end because confidence is there. We're going to talk about building systems and taking care of ourselves and paying attention to our body, the physical, and paying attention to our mental, our mind, and our emotions, and getting that emotional health together. Chelsea, come back on, honey, because this is my time. It is up. But this has been amazing. I cannot wait to hear what else we all have to share in this space. Miss
Listen,
Cookie.
Money. Listen, this you I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words. You, my dear precious sister, I knew there was something about you. I knew it. I think I told you there's just something about you. And for you to share during a time like this, it speaks volumes not to your strength, because the whole thing of the strong black woman, that's overrated, because we don't have to wear that heavy weight, but the resiliency that you have, the faith that you have, the presence of mind that you have, and then to help us navigate through, because nobody's really telling us how to navigate through this uncharted territory of trauma, because you're right. We've been told, you'll be all right. It'll, this too shall pass. How you know? Right? We say the cliche words, but you have, as Keisha said, systems that, be all right with being all right. Be all right. One key word you said was just be human. I don't have to wear this title, that title, and the other. Allow me the grace to be human. So thank you again. I
Thank
think
you.
now
Thank you.
you are, oh my gosh, you are a blessing. You really are. And thank you for taking us to church early. You was like, can I get an amen? I love it. So I think this is a perfect time, although we have it slated for later. I think this is a perfect time to do a couple of giveaways, because you spoke a moment ago, Monet, about the Gym Journal season 2, right? You talked about that. So I am going to be giving away, or we are going to be giving away, um, one of Monet. Now, keep in mind there are other giveaways that are going to be taking place. So don't think that if you didn't get on this one that you miss out. But you got to be here to get it. Got to be on to get it. So Monet has a Gem Journal, GEMM Journal, season 2, as well as our precious Beth has a T-shirt that we get. Well, she has more than one. So so this is the first round of giveaways. Let me put it that way. So I want to give away. First, I'm going to start with the Gym Journal, and I'm going to give it away. So I know we're on they're streaming on 3 different platforms. So I'm going to be looking really closely. But I want to see if, and I know there's a lag time, so I'm going to pay close attention. If this is your very first time being a part of any Pain and Glory event, if you're completely new to Pain and Glory, never been a part of any of it, I need you to put a 1 in the chat. If you've never been a part of any, if you're not following us, if you've never been a part of a Pain and Glory event, I need you to put a 1 in the chat. Aisha Brown. Okay. Aisha, what I need you to do, you are the recipient of the Gym Journal season 2. What I need you to do is make sure that you go to our inbox. I need you to go to our inbox and put in your contact information because we're going to need to get it out to you. But I'm loving to see that there's several others. Oh my goodness, I see several others. Welcome to you all who are joining us for the first time. Minister Regina King, we had Deborah Brown, Sabrina Marion, Julia. Oh, she's Julia saying congratulations. Sabrina Marlin, congratulations and thank you for being a part. Welcome for the first timers. Welcome to you first timers. So now we're going to be giving away a T-shirt from our lovely Beth Goodman. So if let's see here for the T-shirt, I want to give this away to if you registered on Eventbrite. If you registered on Eventbrite, I need you to put the number 2 in the chat. This is for the T-shirt. If you entered your registration on Eventbrite, I need you to put the number 2 in the comments. And the first name that I see pop up will be, that is Cheryl Dix. Cheryl Dix, congratulations. You are the recipient of a T-shirt from Miss Beth Goodman. So what I need you to do as well, I need you to go into our inbox. It doesn't have to be right now. It can be at the end of the event. I need you and our precious sister Aisha, I need you all to go into our inbox and I need you to let me know first what you won, because I want to confirm that you know what you won. Cheryl Dix, you won the T-shirt, and Aisha, it was the Gym Journal. And we will connect with you and make sure that you know how to get your goodies. So we have more goodies. Trust me, I'm sitting here I'm looking at a page full of goodies. So, but we're going to continue on. But keep in mind, you have to be on to get these things. So I don't want you to miss out. Our next speaker, I just love her spirit, right? I just love when people love what they do and you can tell it, right? People are not just doing something just to be doing it or doing something because someone said they were good at it. But this young lady, I just love I love her spirit. Miss Sasha Walton, she is an innovative business owner and the 2021 ACHI Women of Inspiration Award winner. And she is from Hampton, Virginia, and has been driven with a passion to help others elevate and win in life. As a podcast host and speaker, she has been a speaker on many platforms, encouraging women, business owners, and the youth in various topics. Her new program, POM, motivates and helps young adults to understand their greatness in who they are. She has spoken on various platforms to women and youth about self care and mindfulness. Her quote, understanding who you are and the confidence in that helps one to be proactive in their own self care. I present to you a wonderful and amazing woman who's going to share with us on mindfulness and just from her heart, Miss Sasha Walton. Welcome, Sasha. You're muted. You see it?
Okay. Ooh, I
There
had to
you
move my notes out the way.
go. Understood. We're glad to have you.
Oh, thank you so much for this opportunity. Good morning, everybody, or good day. I'm unmuted again. I apologize. Technical difficulties. We all are in this weather here, and it is going kind of crazy. But anyway, the wind is bad. But anyway, I thank you all so much for being here, and I hope you guys are enjoying this Expo. It is such a phenomenal thing, from starting off with confidence and learning about how to take care of your body with self-care and self-love. And I just love Monet talking about the emotional health. I mean, we all need every last one of those things that everyone has talked about so far. And so, and I thank you ladies for setting me up for what I'm about to talk about. I love the way things are, they go in alignment. So today I'm going to talk to you about transitions. And how many of you use that word in your life and you think that word is a bad thing? Or how many of you look at it as being a good thing? You know, go ahead and just chime in. I want this to be interactive, you guys. And but when we look at it from the standpoint of change or transformation or anything, it's always something that we're never really comfortable with. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that and how we are all faced with transitions. It is, change is inevitable. It is a way of life. It is a part of life. You know, we go from being a child to an adult, from young to being old to even becoming a mother. It's all transitions. And I think that a lot of times when we look at a word, just thinking about it, we don't look at it in the way of how our lives transform every single day, every day. And sometimes it's the things that we don't have control over are the ones that we look at it like, oh, woe is me, I'm hurting, you know, those negative transitions. And everything that we go through is always set up to take us into another level. It helps us to shift. It helps us to become. And so, and really, I'm going to help you to see how this word is really a positive thing, even though we may not like some of the things that come out of it in some cases. So I want to start off with an analogy. Thinking about glasses. How many of y'all have glasses out there? You know, you have your prescribed glasses, you have your sunshades, or you have to have your prescribed sunshades. But then sometimes some of us will actually, you know, go ahead and just do the transitional lenses, right? And so, and with the transitional lenses, immediately when you go out to the sunlight, it goes from being clear to a shaded view. So you have your shades on. And just like that, that's how fast change can happen in our lives. And we transition to another state. Transition is basically a state of being. It's moving from a state of being from one point to the next within your life. And like I said, we can't change that. We are made in the image of God. We are birthed from the earth, from the dirt, right? So if the world or our earth goes through transitions, what makes us think that we're different? I mean, we're walking earths, right? You know, we're made of the dirt. We're cyclic people, just like the cycles of the season. Everything brings us transition to birth something different or new. And so with me, I want to kind of, I'm gonna jump around a little bit, but I'm going to talk about some external factors and internal factors. And I'll use me as a big example. I love being transparent. One of the things that Ms. Cookie had talked about in the bio, I do have a passion for helping others. In everything that I do, I just strive to help people in business, in just having conversations. Sometimes it's just about listening and just hearing people out and just talking and just enjoying that moment. But I'm going to use myself as an example throughout this process here that that we're going to talk about today. And so in my life journey so far, because it's still got more to come, I still have more to come. But in my life journey so far, there have been some transitions that I have experienced. And I'm not going to say that I liked all of them. In fact, I didn't like it at all, but it taught me how to understand the power of being okay. And so I, started out as a young adult as a single mother and ended up getting married and then became a single mother again. And then, sometimes we have these relationship transitions, and a lot of times that makes us feel even more like questioning our self-esteem or our confidence, or like Monet said, are we enough? And it was in those moments that it taught me, not only just with the divorce, but even other relationships, that, sometimes it's just not going to go the way you want it to go. And I looked at it from a standpoint, or I eventually learned how to look at it from a standpoint of it's okay to be okay. And some of our greatest lessons comes through pain and our experiences, but it opens the door for us to become more resilient. It opens the door to be more self-sufficient, or even just being able to go through the healing process and looking at ourselves in a different viewpoint. And so it's so many different things that come out of it. But with me, those are all the things that I learned. And in that, I love to just, like, if it was my best friends or whomever I have the opportunity to just talk to, just have a conversation with. And I could see where they may have gone through the same things I experienced. So I really enjoy being that, sounding board sometimes, or just somebody that can actually just show that they care and share some things that I've been through. But those are examples of external factors. And I know that, so many of you may have gone through the same thing or had other external factors. And those type of things in transitions are the ones that we can't control. But the best part out of it is how we control ourselves in it, how we view it, how we go through the motions and know that we're going to come out okay on the other side. And in a show of hands, or just say yes, what I'm about to ask you, how many of you have actually been at those places where you felt your lowest? And then, after a few weeks or months or whatever, and you can actually look back and say, why was I even tripping? How many of you guys out there have been in that position? And so that's where over time, I learned how through that, the power of okay, just it's okay to be okay. It's okay to go through whatever you're going to go through. Because a lot of times they're just bumpers. There are bumpers on the road that help us to kind of get back on track. It's help us to stay on track, or whatever the case may be that we experience. Then it's all good. It is all good. And we do come out better on the other side. So in all this, transitions, they cause transformation. It allows us to learn how to be adaptable and flexible. It increases our faith. We had that thing over, faith over fear. Those are two powerful components that we have in our lives, faith and fear. And so, and a lot of times you have to ask yourself in these moments, what is going to be greater, the purpose of your life or the fear? And so we go through these things, and when we start to learn to adjust and to go through it and understand that, just like the word say, weeping endures for a night, right? We go through some things, and weeping endures in the night, but in the morning we do feel okay. Or even after we go through the moments of that time frame, And we can never put a time limit on how we go through it. But even though we always see the light at the end, we always come out, like I said, better. And then also with transitions, it allow us to see ourselves in a different view. We can do that self retrospective look. We can go inner, just introspective. And also, like I said before, the healing as well as forgiveness, the big word, forgiveness, right? And these are the things that, we when I said we look at transition being a negative thing, and not look at the positives out of it, but it's the positive things that we end up walking through, like the emotion. We're better emotionally. We learn how to handle the issues that do flow through our heart, and we learn how, like me, the power of being okay, and just making sure you just don't stay in that emotion. Like what Monet said, that emotional health is everything. And it's okay to feel it. It's okay to process through it, but just don't stay there, because when you stay there, all those other negative things are going to come through you. That mindset, your mind is so powerful that what you think does happen, right? Over time, it end up happening. And sometimes being in a negative state of being or a negative mindset, it allows you to make some, kind of bad decisions, or you just sit back, you don't move, you don't, you allow fear to really grip you, and all of those things. And so those are the internal factors of transitioning. Sometimes it's our decisions that we make that get us to a place that we have to kind of maneuver through, or we go around that path. Like we have a straight target to where we need to go. But there's sometimes we go around the bush a little bit, and maybe a couple of times we might go through it until we learn for ourselves. And so when we look in the inner part of who we are, we start to identify what is the root cause of these things. We start to identify, where do we want to be? Like I said before, what is greater, your purpose or the things you want to do in life, or the fear that you allow to grip you, or the lack of confidence, or even, I don't like this word, but I like to use it and everything, or that beast procrastination. That is a beast. It gets a lot of us down. And so those main three, lack of confidence, fear, and procrastination, those things work hand in hand. And as long as you allow those negative things to kind of hold you back, it keeps you from experiencing the positivity of what transitional state of being can be, especially when it's going into the right direction. And it shifts us to a different place in our lives. We go from one moment, from another level to another level. And I know I talked about some of the things that we don't like with transitions, but I'm going to talk about some of the good things of transitioning. And it's not always bad. But first, how many of y'all like the story of the caterpillar, the metamorphosis? And so some transitions happen in a metamorphic state. It's the effect of where you're completely broken down, but only to shift into something new. And just like the butterfly, when a caterpillar goes into its cocoon, that metamorphosis state, their body is breaking down completely. They become mesh in that cocoon. And then their body comes back together into something new. So it's almost like it's a rebirth in a sense. And so when we look at ourselves, I know a lot of people will, use the butterfly to, attach to where we're going, or metamorphosis into where we're going, and the different moments and levels in life. But just think about what that caterpillar actually goes through to become the butterfly. And so how many of y'all have actually been in that state? It's like, okay, yeah, I felt like I was completely broken down. But when you look at yourself now, you see the newness of who you are. You're doing things that you may not have done back then that you're doing now, that is so impactful to your community, or if you're in business, or just people around you in life in general. So the positivity or the positive ways that comes out of transition, it could be like you going from going to a new job or a new city, things that causes you to shift. And I know sometimes we even kind of look at that as, oh, can we do it? Or that confidence starts to, that question of confidence starts to come in where, if you are going to a new job or if you move into a new city, you're starting something fresh and new and something different than what you're used to. If you're coming out of those comfort zones or the state of complacency. And so once again, just understanding that even in every last one of those steps, the power of it all is how we handle those moves, how we handle those shifts, the transitions, and also remembering it's okay to be okay. And one thing to really hone in on is the fact that we have a path that's already established for us. God already said that He knows the plans that He has for us. His plans to give us hope in the future, not to harm us. And so when we understand that and understand the fact that we do have a God who loves us that much to say, look, it's already done for you. You're okay. Then you just go through those moments. But it does take for us in our human state to understand that more so and to be comfortable with that. And knowing that we can take these leaps and these jumps and become something greater or go into something greater. So I'm going to ask this question. How many of y'all out there are movie buffs? Like y'all love movies. And a true movie buff can always pick out something in the movie and say, oh, I can relate to that, right? You might say, oh, that's a powerful phrase, or it's one thing in a movie that you always will remember, right? So I have like, I think 2 movies I'm going to kind of tie into this a little bit. So how many of you guys, and I'm not trying to date anybody out here, but remember the Indiana Jones series of movies? And we had one, I think it was the 4th one, because he had a lot. I think it's the 3rd or 4th one. But anyway, it was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And there was a point of the movie where they were looking for the, I guess not the gauntlet, but it was the cup that Jesus drank out of at the Last Supper. It was like one of those artifacts that they were looking for. And when it came to this, it was like they went through a mountain or a cave or something like that. When they got to the point of, they looked and it was like at the ledge, and then there was the other side they had to get to. And on the other side, there was just like this big gorge. They saw there was no bridge, there was anything, but they knew in that map or the book that they had to cross the bridge. But they're like, what bridge? And so Indiana Jones realized that to cross the bridge, he needed to have faith and then to believe. And just like that, that bridge showed up. It was still clear. It was clear or it wasn't even there to others that was watching. But Indiana Jones saw that clear bridge and he was able to go across it and made it and got the cup and everything. And so it's the same thing with us. It's the same thing that we don't see what's ahead of us. And a lot of times when that shift happens or that change, we're facing it right there. And it's like, okay, what do we do? Do we stay on the side that we're on, or do we move forward? And a lot of times that can happen with that positive shift in your life when it comes to transitions. And so I know if I've been there. I was one time I applied for a job and I felt like the job was bigger than me. But I knew at the same time I had the experience. I knew I was a fast learner. There were some things that, yeah, okay, give or take. Yeah, okay, I might have to work on that. But I knew the bulk of who I am and the most that I can do can get me into that position. And then also, just being in a position where, there was favor too. And I got the job. But before that, I questioned myself. It was just like so easy. I called my mom. I'm like, I see this position I want to apply for, and it's kind of big, but what do I do it? I'm just like questioning my own confidence. Now, I just already said I'm confident in the skill set that I know I had, but when it came to me applying for that position, I teetered that scale. And so many times we can look at that. And that's, once again, that's the internal factor of how we think and how we look at ourselves. And when we see ourselves as being these great people, or we see ourselves as being these women who has that confidence in that, and we know who we are, then there shouldn't be anything to question, right? But, we are human, so it happens. But understanding that faith is a big part of transition and believing in who you are and having the confidence, not just in yourself, but even the God that we serve, and knowing that we can still do everything. When I said we could do all things to Christ who strengthens us, and the way is already made. So we just go forth in it. And it's like early when I made the analogy about the transitional lens. Sometimes we can have the shaded view of things. And sometimes it's our shaded view that will keep us in a place of being stagnant and not ready to move forward or to progress or to evolve. And like I said, it's the faith that increases during that moment if you allow it to. It's still an allowing. We still have that choice to make and take every jump that you can take and every leap at that moment. And it's when we adjust our perception of transition, we can embrace it better. And I've already said some of my notes, I kind of jumped ahead of things, but I just want to just say that, like I mentioned, it is the internal factors and the external factors that have that weight on what we do. And it's always going to be a cause and effect. It is the cause and effect of things. So sometimes something has to happen for it to affect the move. So if you go on through a relational situation and maybe you deep down inside you knew it just was time, right? But you were comfortable in that state. I've been there. You were comfortable in that state and you didn't move. So something happened to cause you to shift out of that relationship. Or if you're on a job and you're in a career and you've hit that ceiling, but at the same time you are complacent and comfortable where you are, me too, then when you sit there, you don't move, but there's other opportunities out there for you. So the cause and the effect. In my case, in another testimonial part or a transition moment, oh, not transition, but a transparent moment, that is, I worked for a company for 20 years and I was comfortable. Sometimes how many people have been on jobs where, you've been there so long, everybody know who you are. You have your benefits package, but then you have your personal benefit package. So because you've been there for so long. And so I got comfortable in being in that place of, oh, I'm good here. And so in 2018, I was laid off. Now, I will always say, like, I kind of grew up in business as well as my career path because it all matches the same 20 years. So I started a business 20 years ago, as well as me working. It was always on the side. And in 2018, one of the biggest transitional challenges that I experienced so far in my life was going through a layoff. And it gave me the opportunity to move my business up to a full-time business. So being a full-time entrepreneur and going through having to evolve. My business has evolved over the years. I went from doing event production, managing music artists to just operating in the whole business scope of things and allowing my experience in the corporate world and my business as well as my education to just sum it all up and add value to people that I work with. And I had to transition from being a full-time employee to being a full-time business owner. How many of y'all out there has been through that situation? And I've gone through being like federal contracting, state and government, federal government, and I went hard after it. So I'm running for 2 years, full-time entrepreneurship. And then guess what happened, you guys? The pandemic happened. And because of the core of my business was in events, the event industry was hit really hard. And so I got into a place where I felt like, when we talking about the mindset piece, I got into a place where I felt like, well, what's going to happen next? Because I'm rolling. I'm enjoying the freedom of being an entrepreneur. But then it hit me. I hit that wall during the pandemic because it came to a point where it was just like, okay, am I going to have to go back to work? Or, I've worked so hard to be where I'm at, or I don't understand what's going on with me right now. And why aren't things shifting and changing the way they need to? So I think I hit my minutes, but I just want to say that you guys just know that you can do everything and then just become all that you can become. And know that every transitional point is a good thing. And I just say that I left out of that, and I am here to where I'm at with you guys now as a business coach, as a business owner, relaunching and everything coming out as a speaker. But I do want to um, offer you guys, I do have a masterclass that I'm excited about. And with this masterclass, it is called Sasha Fix My Business. So if you're out there, you have a business, wherever state that you're at, I want you to join this class. The information is on my website, and you will walk away with that confidence in being that CEO. I will go through everything that I've been through as well, but also with the practical strategies to help grow your business. And I do have an offer. It is going to be 15% off of the price, and you use code 15. I'll put it in the comments, but I want you to register and meet me there. Also, the other advantage is it is a way of giving back to kid entrepreneurs. So the money does go towards a business grant. And for that, Miss Cookie, I am finished with everything. And you can come back on. And I thank you so much for this opportunity and time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, Sasha, you are full of wisdom, all these nuggets that you gave to us. And I love the fact that you have this masterclass, Sasha Fix My Life, Fix My uh,
Business.
Business. I'm about to make you yell about that. But listen, I also want you guys to know that Sasha is giving away 30-minute coaching sessions with her. Am I right, Sasha?
Yes, and a free seat in the masterclass.
And a free seat in the master class. So listen, right now I'm going to give those away. So I know how I'm going to give away the three, right? So she's giving away three free coaching sessions with her, right? So here's who's going to be the recipient. So you got to be, I hope you're close to your device so you can get in on this. This first one will be easy. If you are tuning in from YouTube, I need you to type in YouTube. It's kind of easy because I can actually see the YouTube icon, but I want to see the first person. Okay, so the first person, Michelle Edwards. Excellent. First person, Michelle Edwards from YouTube. You are the recipient of the first 30-minute session with Miss Sasha. Second person, the the second person to receive. If you are watching us now from the Payne in the Pews Mental Health and Ministry group page, I need you to type in group. And while you're doing that, thank you, Dr. Black. Thank you, Wanda Bullock, for being a part. Oh my goodness, I love it. If you're viewing from the Pain in the Pews group, Aisha, you won though. You won. I want to be fair. I want to be fair, right? But I'm so glad you are. But I didn't Aisha win the other, right? I want to be sure. I want to be fair. So if you're viewing from the Pain in the Pews Mental Health and Ministry group page, I want you to type in group. Thank you, Aisha. I want to leave no one out. And then the third, excellent, Tracy Conley. Hey, Tracy Conley Bray. Excellent. You are the second recipient of the 30-minute session with our Miss Sasha. Hey, Tracy. Hey. The third person, this should be pretty easy. If you're watching from the Pain and Glory Facebook page, I want you to type in Facebook. If you're watching from the Pain and Glory Facebook, the main Facebook page, just type in Facebook. First person I see Regina Williams. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you to Raina. Thank you for TL Harris. Thank you so much to Michelle Saunders. Thank you, Michelle Edwards. Thank you all for being so attentive. Listen, there's a lot more. Don't just because you didn't get out on this one, there's a lot more because remember, she just said about the master class as well, a spot in her master class, right? So, let's see here. I want to for a spot in her master class. If you are already following Sasha Walton on social media, whether you just did it just now while she was talking, or if you've been following her, if you already follow Sasha Walton on social media, I need you to put SW in the comments. And I don't care where you're viewing from. If this is for the masterclass seat, if you're already following her on social media, I need you to put SW in the comments. I know there's a lag time, so I'm paying close attention. And this is for a seat in her masterclass. That's a pretty doggone powerful giveaway. I'm about to type SW myself if you all don't. So if you're already following Sasha, like I said, if you just started following her on social media just since she's been speaking, or if you've been following her the whole time, I need you to put SW in the comments. Give you 5 more. That would be TL Harris. TL Harris. Wonderful. You are the recipient of that. As I said with the other people who have won, I need you to inbox us from whatever platform, if you're inside the group, if you're inside Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, I need you to inbox us with your information so that we can connect you and make sure that you indeed, my dear precious sisters, get what you are, what is coming. I am so excited for each of you. Congratulations. And like I said, if you didn't get in on this one, trust me, there's some more stuff. I have a page full of stuff, and we've got some great stuff coming. So listen, what I want you to do, what I need you to do, because I'm about to bring up my next guest, who was actually, if you were on at the beginning, you will remember I said we had our last in-person Women's Health and Wellness Expo just literally days before the global shutdown, right? And this young lady was actually a part of that last conference, and I'm elated to have her as a part of this year's. But before I get to her, I need you to do something for me. Many of you have been with us the whole time, and I want you to kind of stretch. I want you to kind of get some movement coming. I need you to use that index finger, whichever, if you're left or right-handed. I need you to hit that share button. We got to get in exercise any way we can, right? So I need you to hit that share button. And because we've got some great giveaways, I want you to, as I said, get some stretching in, get some movement in, right? I want you to send some love and some claps, some hugs, some hearts to the ladies who've already gone before. I'm telling you, this content has been absolutely amazing. So I want you to share some hearts with them. I want you to show your appreciation for these amazing speakers, because they have truly done an amazing job. So I am going to bring on, yes, indeed, I see the claps, I see the hearts. I'm going to bring on our next featured speaker, and these are in her words. She says, "My name is Kylie Ross, and I am a recovering food junkie. My journey has taken me through many levels of highs and lows." She goes on to say, "I reached a point of depression from being in various relationships that made me feel defeated and lonely. So I turned to food and more food. My highest weight, 400 pounds. Can you believe it?" She goes on to say, "I can't believe, but I couldn't, but I grew accustomed and only changed my dress size, but not my lifestyle." Wow, it's powerful. "Due to other underlying health issues, I turned to bariatric surgery. After surgery, I went through much needed therapy to ensure that I was ready for the journey I was about to embark upon. After losing 75 pounds from the after losing 75 pounds from the physical adjustments of my recent surgery, my cravings came back. My emotions started taking over again. Those little voices start telling me I cannot do this and I will not last. I turned to the gym and started walking and listening to my music. Then I got a personal trainer. She turned me on to group fitness classes, and I loved it. I was welcomed immediately and felt accepted for the first time in a long time, if ever. Because I craved the energy and power that I felt in class, I wanted to be the source for others as well. This led me to instructing now. And so now she is a certified personal trainer. She is a group fitness instructor in various formats, including her own Lean Up Boot Camp and To Be Mindset Nutrition Mentor. Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy, elated, over the moon, excited to bring to you this wonderful, wonderful woman, Miss Kylie Ross. Kylie, thank you for being here. Oh my gosh. Listen, guys, I want you to remember what I just told you. I want you to remember her largest size. And then before she even says a word, because a little jealousy is trying to creep in. I'm gonna let it go though. I'm gonna let it go. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But Kylie, you look amazing. I am looking forward to this. The floor is now yours. Welcome.
Thank you so much. And thank you for that amazing introduction. Yes, all of it is true. Fortunately, unfortunately, I started at Fort. Well, didn't start. I have been obese my entire childhood. And, I always had the support of my mom, who has always tried to help me, work with me. But when I got to being older, a young adult, different type of relationships started coming into my life, and they didn't always go the way I wanted. And I did not take, or I did not have the tools and resources that I should have had to help me overcome them healthily. We've talked about, or we've heard about from the other panelists, amazing panelists at that, about your mind and getting your screenings for your various systems within your body. I'm going to tie those two together for you, because V-Rock Fitness, you know, I have told many people this is God's business. He's just granted me, as the vessel to operate it. I'm just being very honest and transparent right now. When he originated V-Rock Fitness for me, he made it in my heart to start it off as virtual and mobile. So anyone that has ever come across V-Rock Fitness and Kylie Ross, you have always heard me say, this is your mobile and virtual fitness and health company. We are still that today. So even when the pandemic hit, yes, it did affect V-Rock Fitness, but it didn't stop us. I have been still helping women and men to find themselves, to redefining themselves, and to learn how to maintain their health. We offer everything from personal training to group fitness classes. I'm actually about to start a small group training session for the spring starting April 9th. Right now we have, let's see, oh yeah. Right now we have openings, 179 for that entire 9 weeks. That is going on right now. Regular price is 199. We also have Wellness Recon. This is a reoccurring event that V-Rock Fitness offers so that we can go into natural, holistic ways of maintaining health, not only mentally and taking care of yourself, also emotionally, but also with herbs and vitamins. One of the things that I have noticed in our community, our cultures, is that you don't hear many of us talking about, just taking vitamins, just regular daily multivitamins, probiotics, taking, I already said probiotics, multivitamins, and even down to just making sure that you have your different herbal teas, like detoxing. That's what I was trying to think of. Digestive health. It is so important. Any and every client that I have touched in any way, they have gone through a detox phase in the beginning, because all of us have gone through times where we have not been healthy in our digestive system. We've noticed where it's harder for our foods to break down. And that, of course, turns into constipation, as we've heard earlier from our previous panelists. And to try to avoid any further problems, I always incorporate digestive health. Digestive health is so important. Then I'm going into your physical. The entire time I'm talking to you, I'm boosting you up. I'm letting you know how proud I am of you along the way. Perfect example. Have a current personal training client. I just saw her last night. And she's lost 20 pounds. 20 pounds. I've been working with her for 7 weeks. That's it, 7 weeks. And I tell her every time I see her twice a week. One time virtual, one time face-to-face. And I tell her every time, I say, I'm so proud of you. You're doing it. You are doing this. You're taking on the hardest part. That's the getting the will to live. That's getting the desire to want to follow through with eating better, eating cleaner, and showing up to your sessions with me so therefore we can sculpt your body. It's all a part of your purpose. I'm letting her know that. So anyone that comes through V-Rock Fitness, know that you're not only going to get the mental stimulation, but you're also getting the physical workout. You're also getting the emotional gratification, because it starts with you. All I need is an open mind. All I need is a willing heart. You have to have that will to live. So just to kind of go back into some of my story after I had the surgery, a lot of people think that bariatric surgery is a cheater's way out. It's not. It's not. Let me tell you, despite all that you have to go through just to get approved, it is not easy. Your body goes through so many changes. Let me give you an example of what it's like when you have gastric bypass. It is like starting over as a baby, because what they have done, what the doctors have done, is literally reduced your stomach, its physical size, down to the size of a baby. So you can only hold, so many tablespoons, so many teaspoons at first. Then it grows a little bit at the time. Now, what happens mostly, hear me, what happens mostly around 60-65% of the time, because the factors that led to your initial weight gain, that initial peaks and valleys that you've gone through that made you just so fed up and tired, those factors, they haven't gone anywhere. They have not gone anywhere because they haven't been addressed down to the root. So a lot of times, about 60 to 65% of the time, a lot of those bariatric patients, they end up gaining that weight back plus some. And those underlying health issues that were there, they end up coming back. So that's where I come in. I have helped previous bariatric patients to get back on that path of maintaining and of losing. I had to learn. I had started to gain myself after surgery. After I had dropped the 75 pounds, just from walking, just from following the eating, the eating sizes that I could physically hold without making myself sick, that was when those cravings started coming back, because my body started kind of readjusting, getting used to what was going on, right? So now I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, okay, here it comes, but I don't want to fall back into the same place. Thank God I was able to notice my weight gain before it got out of control. I think I went up about 1.5 sizes, almost 2 sizes. So I immediately started addressing it. I immediately started having those come to Jesus moments with myself. And that was when I knew I need additional help. So when I tell you guys, it's not easy on this side of the world, it's not. There is no easy pill. There is no easy surgery. There is no easy button you can push. There is no easy fix when you are leading a healthier lifestyle, especially when it comes down to losing weight. There are some people who want to gain weight to be healthier. I help those as well. I have one I'm working with right now. But just to let you know, there is no easy fix to this. It is a process. It is a journey. So when I realized this, I sought help. That's where my personal trainer came in, Denise. I still keep in touch with her today because of her pushing me into this area where I was like, no, I don't want to be around people. What are you talking about? I don't want to be around people. I'm good. That's why I'm paying you, like just me and you. But it's like she saw something in me where she saw I needed this additional interaction. She started pushing me. I was like, okay, fine. Just to stop you from talking, let me just go in here and try it. But you're going to see I don't like it. Y'all, if I could have ate the words like food on a plate, I would have eaten the whole plate. I'm telling you. The energy that I felt in that class, and it was MOSA Group Power. That was the name of the class. The energy that I felt from all the other participants toward the instructor. Her name is Megan. It was like I had a whole shift of everything, of life itself. It was like a turning point. That was my pivotal moment in this weight loss journey. I said, this is what I want. I need this. I need this emotional push. I need this encouragement. And I also want to be that for other people. So V-Rock Fitness now stands as that platform, that rock of strength, to where I can help anyone, and I'm even certified and licensed to do so. I can help anyone out there that is needing to make a lifestyle change. I can help you with that. If you're needing to lose weight, if you're needing to gain weight, if you're needing to just maintain wealth, I am able to help you with that. I can even help anticipate some of the stages in this journey. You know why? Because I'm a living testimony. No shade to any other trainers or anyone out. No shade to them at all. This isn't even about them. I can only speak for me personally. I've been through it. The Lord allowed me to experience what he had me to experience so that I can help others to know, okay, you're going down this path. This is where it's going to lead. Let's transition over here. And here are the tools and resources to do so. I offer portion control containers that I give to my clients. I give them. This is a resource and tool. I have a workbook, an electronic workbook that I created with the help of the Lord. I created this to give you your individual caloric baseline. It gives you your portions that you need for each food group. You have the tools. You will have the resources. You will not fail if you will just come with an open mind, an open heart, and a will to live. A will to live. I also have waist trainers that I offer as well for those who want that contoured hourglass shape. I even teach you how to use them. It's nothing wrong with a waist trainer. A lot of us have heard stay away from them. Oh, they hurt you. They move your organs around. Only if it's too tight. Just like everything else in life, it's a balance, right? So I teach you how to do that, incorporating water intake. I focus on up to 1 gallon a day of water. Yep, I said it. And guess what? I help you with that too. I have a whole water bottle that gives you those encouraging messages. You're getting started. Keep going. You killed it. Okay? I'm helping you with this 2 times. 2 fill-ups. You've reached 1 gallon, whether you know it or not. The tools and resources are here. They're here. Thigh slimmers. If you're needing to reduce the excess weight in your thighs, it's here. It's here. We have the resources and the tools. Just like y'all know, I can tell everyone here is Christian. So y'all know whenever the Lord's hand is in something, he doesn't leave anything out. He doesn't leave anything for confusion, right? Right. So there is no room for confusion over here. There's no room for additional wonder, should I, shouldn't I? It's all about, do you have the will to live? Do you have an open mind and an open heart? And I'm going to leave you with one more saying that I have started to sing a lot of, but it means so much to me. Everybody has a body. Everybody has a story, but every body, like physical body, has a story. I'm going to repeat. Everybody has a story, but every body, physical body, has a story. Never forget that. Embrace your story. Know that the story is not over. As long as you're here, you do have a chance to make it right. You have a chance to change it. You have a chance to have that pivotal moment. And if there's any room, and you don't mind, let V-Rock Fitness help you. Thank y'all so much. And thank you, Miss Cookie, again for this opportunity. It's been a pleasure working with you, and I look forward to working with you even more in the future. And for those of you out there, please, please, please come to Wellness Recon March 26th at 4 p.m. Tickets are on sale now on my website.
Oh my gosh. And I hope you all are please, please, please take down her website, vrockfitness.net, vrockfitness.net, vrockfitness.net. Listen, I wish I was close enough to show you, but I have my guy. It's not yours, but I do have my water jug, and it does has inspirational sayings because it's a mind thing. It really is. If you were to tell me drink a gallon of water a day, you know, but that inspiration does help because you get to see, oh, I am killing it. Oh man, I am doing good. And before you know it, that water is gone. Before you know it, you have already done it. You're not even thinking about it because you're looking at, okay, I met this. Okay, I'm at this line. Oh, okay, I'm almost there. As opposed to, I got to drink some more water. You know. And then I like how you break it down, that you debunk some myths and you gave clarity on things that, listen, people make assumptions about. This is a journey, and whether it is weight loss, weight gain, or maintaining a healthy lifestyle, which is really what it's all about. You have helped us today so much, Kylie, and I absolutely love you. I absolutely love you. I encourage you all, get in on it. When is the date again?
The question that I saw in the comments, the 179, that's small group training. So go to vrockfitness.net/training. Small group training. It starts April 9th. Tickets are on, or registration is open now. 179 covers the whole 9 weeks. Your question, Miss Cookie, is Wellness Recon, March 26th, vrockfitness.net/wellness recon. If you have any questions, feel free to email me info@vrockfitness.net. And thank you again.
One last question before you go. One last question. Are both of these that you just mentioned, are both of these in person, or are any of them hybrid, in person and virtual?
Thank you so much. So small group training is hybrid. The physical location is 1999 Parker Court in Stone Mountain, or either you can join via Zoom. Still get the same quality either way, guaranteed. Wellness Recon, the in-person has now closed because we've reached capacity for safety. So the rest of the tickets are now virtual. Again, same level of quality, virtual swag bags are loading, so you will still get your treats.
I love this. Listen, you guys jump on this, vrockfitness.net. Oh my gosh, Kylie, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for once again being a part. This is the second year you've been a part of us. So
Hopefully more, more.
You're stuck with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
So once again, guys, it's giveaway time because listen, we got a lot of stuff to give away, and I want to make sure we get it all out. So I mentioned earlier that our precious Beth had a T-shirt, so there are two. So I want to give away the second T-shirt. And if Beth, if you could come on screen for one hot second, that would be great. Wonderful. So the second T-shirt, I want you to let me know how you want me to give this away. I know we talked about people who registered online, but you know what? You may have an idea of how you want to give away the second T-shirt. So I want to give you that opportunity.
Okay, so there were people that were taking notes and putting notes in the comments from the presentation. And I don't know who the name was, but there's one person that was typing down each one of the three things that I said. Whoever that person was that was taking copious notes.
There was a scribe. Okay, so I can tell
Yes.
you there was a scribe in
Yes.
here. And I think I know who it was, but I don't want to assume. So I'm going to tell you in just a moment.
Okay.
That is a very, I like the way you pulled that. You got me doing homework too. You gave me, again, I really do think I know who it is. But because I saw it as well, but I want to be sure. And it was 1 second, guys. You guys, y'all sent a lot of messages. Y'all sent a lot of comments, which I love. I'm not mad at it.
Yes, yes,
I'm not
yes, yes.
mad at it. I love it.
It took me a minute to realize that I could see all of their comments and our private
Okay.
comments. And I was like, oh my gosh.
So there were, let's see here. There were two people. One has already won. One was Aisha, and the other one was Michelle Johnson.
Well, there we have it.
Michelle Johnson. So
And
Michelle Johnson,
I'm gonna throw one in there for Miss Aisha. Even
yes,
though she's getting it out there. I see you showing up and signing, Aisha. I see you showing up and signing and sharing.
yes, indeed. So we thank you so much, Beth. Thank you so much. So those are the T-shirts that we are giving away. Make sure. I think Aisha, you already know to put your information. Thank you, Beth, to put your information in the comment and the inbox, not the comments, in our inbox. So we are good to go. And I already know how to get in touch with Michelle. So that's pretty easy. So that was pretty good. It pays to make comments, doesn't it? And you guys have been making some wonderful comments. The next one, we are giving away Miss Keisha. I don't want to misspeak because I think yours changed. So if you wouldn't mind coming on screen and telling me what your giveaway is, your other giveaway is, I don't want to misspeak because I have in mind who I want to give it to.
Yes, ma'am. So we decided that we would do two 30-minute coaching sessions.
Awesome sauce. So I saw some comments, and so based on the comments, I'm gonna select randomly, or not so randomly, but because of the comments. There were some comments that came in just now,
Mhm.
and someone was just talking about their drinking water. I want to see.
Oh, I
I
saw
just
that.
started a life-changing journey drinking
Cheryl
enough
Dix.
water. Yes, yes, yes. But Cheryl won already, didn't she?
She did. She won a T-shirt.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm going to pick another one. I'm sorry, Minister Cheryl, Pastor Cheryl. Oh, but I do see another scribe that has been scribing. That is Tan Scott. So
Okay.
Tan will be the recipient of one of the 30-minute coaching sessions from our Keisha Way. Awesome sauce. I also earlier when I was asking about people who had been, this is the first time and all that good stuff, and people who were joining from Facebook and who were joining from Instagram. I'm not Instagram. Oh, I keep saying Instagram. Maybe something to that. So, Michelle Edwards, if you are still on, let me know that you are still on. Michelle Edwards, you're viewing from YouTube. If you are still on, let me know that you are still with us. Again, that's Michelle Edwards, and you're viewing from YouTube. I know there's a little lag, so give me a little time. Michelle Edwards, if you are still on viewing from YouTube, let us know. Going once,
There she
going
is. There she is.
awesome sauce. Michelle Edwards, you are the recipient of the 30-minute coaching session with our Keisha Way. Yay!
Yes.
Congratulations. So, Michelle Edwards, since you are on YouTube, what I need you to do, and I'm going to put it in the comments, I'm going to ask you to send your information to our email address, and then, and this is for anyone else who has won a gift, so that we can make sure that we get it to you, and just state what your gift is that you won, and we'll make sure that we connect you with the right person. Right. So go ahead, everyone, get that stretch in, get some movement going. I'm hoping, are you guys enjoying yourself as much as I am, as much as we are? Because we're having a ball. Are you guys enjoying yourselves as much as we are? Listen, I'm having the best time. I really am. And so the last thing before we get over to the next one, I know Monet said that she was giving away 2 of her gym journals. So the last one will go to the first person who can tell me that they shared this on their platform. If you hit the share button, I want you to say me. If you hit it and you haven't won, if you haven't won anything and you have shared this event, I need you to say me. If you've shared this, I need you to say me. If you haven't already won something, if you haven't already won, but I mean, if you have, I'm glad that but Michelle has already won. We love Michelle. Tan Scott already won. I'm loving it. So we're gonna keep looking for who has shared. Julia Freeman. Yay! Julia Freeman. Julia, thank you. You are the recipient of the second one. You are the recipient of the Gym Journal from Monet Marcia. Yay! So excited. I told you, and listen, guys, we still have some more stuff to give away. You got to be here. As you can tell, we're going from YouTube to Facebook, the groups, all of it. Listen, listen, listen. So, and if you haven't won, trust me, there's still stuff coming. So our next speaker, I want to introduce you to. Her name is Tracy T. Mitchell Turner. She grew up in rural Southeast Louisiana and later migrated to the bustling city of Atlanta, Georgia over 20 years ago. Tracy is a coach, speaker, author, and wellness advocate who inspires faith-based professional women over 40 to become happy. Come on now. Healthy. Come on now. And whole. Come on. So that they can live a full life now. They can live on full now. I am elated to introduce to you all the wonderful Tracy Mitchell Turner. Tracy, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome, Cookie. How you doing?
Wonderful. The floor is now yours, my dear.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. Good afternoon, everyone, all you amazing, beautiful people. Thank you again for joining this amazing Health and Wellness Expo. As Cookie stated, I am coach, speaker, and author Tracy T. Mitchell Turner, founder of T. Mitchell LLC. And ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are with us, I just want to say that I am so full from today. I mean, literally talking about confidence, self-love, self-care, emotional health, transitions, healthy living. And so it's so funny because my topic basically about making healthy living, the transformation, making it fun, making it feel good, making it delightful. It all encompasses everything that we've already talked about, right? Everything. So just as another beautiful lady said earlier, it's all falling in right alignment. So again, thanks for joining. And I'm really passionate about healthy living, making it a lifestyle, about being happy, about being healthy, about being well, and holistic wellness, right? Being completely and fully whole as a woman of faith, a woman of God. And I'm in this place, I'm in this season in my life right now, but I haven't always been in this place. It's been a process, it's been a journey that God had me on, right? And so
as Cookie stated, I grew up in Louisiana, moved on up to Atlanta, and in school, I grew up. I was a straight A student. I always was trying to do right and serve the Lord and all of these other things, right? I remember in high school, I literally sat down and I wrote down, this is what I want my life to be like. This is when, at this age, I want to have this done. I want to be here. And so I wrote that and I kept that. And I really wanted my life to be the way that I thought that I wanted my life to be. So I got to college, graduated from college, and then, of course, moved here to Atlanta. And sadly, that life that I had planned for myself, it didn't actually happen that way. That life didn't happen. I was what, 24, 25, and I had got the degree. I'm working, living my life, but I still desired to be married, to have a family, to do all of these amazing things that as a little girl that we're taught, this is what you're supposed to be doing, right? And so, guys, it got really hard and frustrating because I maintained my faith to the best of my ability, but a lot of the feedback and comments and just different things that were happening, like, many of my friends were getting married, were having children, starting their families. They were transitioning and doing all of these things. And I don't know, I felt stuck because those things weren't happening for me at that time. 25, right? Not married, no kids. I hit 30. I was like, okay, maybe now. Nope, not married, no kids. And the feedback came from a lot of family and friends, and not always from like a negative connotation, but it was still the comments. When are you getting married? Your biological clock is ticking. What's taking so long? All of these different things. And so, I mean, literally internally, it was really eating me on the inside and making me start to kind of doubt myself and say, well, I don't know. I planned this out. What's wrong with me? Why isn't this happening the way that I thought that it was happening? Why is it happening for everybody else, but it's not happening for me? And so, at 35, as a woman, you hit that crucial 35, right? I hit 35 and I was still in a place of single, no children, that whole thing, right? So I ended up meeting a man, and on paper, this man was perfect. He had everything that I had written down on my list that I had, right? He met all of the qualities on paper, right? So I entered this relationship, and unfortunately, it became a very toxic relationship that eventually failed. And I always had positive role models and just a lot of good things happening to me. Guys, this was the first time that I'd ever felt that type of hurt and pain and anguish. Oh God, it completely wrecked my body. I literally was in love, and I didn't hear from this man for like 4 months straight, no communication. And the rejection was just so unbearable. And so, literally, my body, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, just deteriorated. I, I gained weight. I became pre-diabetic, acne, hair loss. I mean, just a hot mess. I was stressed, depressed. I've been actively serving in ministry, and I just stopped. I mean, literally, my life just literally, I got stuck. I fell down. And for a moment, I didn't even know how to get back up. So, being that I had grown up with a mother and a grandmother who were faith-filled women, who always went to church and always encouraged us to, to be faithful to God and to trust God. In my lowest place, I literally talked to God And the Holy Spirit spoke to me one day, and he led me to the passage in the Bible where it talks about the man who was lame, and literally God told him to rise up, take your bed and walk. God literally told me, get up. This is your choice. I need you to get up. I need you to get up and get your life back. And I said yes. I said yes. And I didn't just say it like in word. I literally took the actions, right? I did what I needed to do to get up and get well and take my life back, right? I changed my diet. I started to, at that point, adopt a healthier lifestyle. So, healthier lifestyle choices, diet. I started to exercise. I got a personal trainer at a certain point. Actually, I used to have a perm. I actually cut my hair. I went natural. I started to grow out my hair again. Just started to take better care of my skin. I got back active again in ministry. And literally, guys, in 4 years, I met my husband. And I've now currently been married for 4 years this year. And also, I've been maintaining this zest for life. Like the scripture, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Literally, my life has been transformed, and I don't take that for granted. And I refuse to go back on my word that I gave to God. So that's what I'm here briefly to talk to you about making your life, choosing to make your life to be healthy, to be happy, to be whole, and to enjoy it, right? My quote that I have is to feast on life and enjoy every bite. Feast on life and enjoy every bite. Yes, you're going to have to go through some pain, some struggles, some problems, some issues. That's a part of life. But guess what? You will still be able to win, get up, get back up, and live and enjoy the life that God has given you, right? So when we think about making healthy living, making it a habit, but making it fun, making it feel good, there are three things that I want you guys to focus on and remember from this message that I'm talking about, right? So the first thing when we think about healthy lifestyle, making it a habit, first of all, there's change, right? Change, transformation. Literally, that's the thing that I had to do, 10 years ago, is change, my mindset. I had to change my position. I had to get up. I had to stand up. I had to start speaking up for myself. So that's the first thing we want to focus on with healthy living. And it's already been said again by almost every of the other speakers. Mindset, 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 right? Your thoughts, the way you think, just in your thinking. So let's just give a good example, like one of the ways as far as healthy living, and this is even too something that I'm currently doing. When we think about healthy living and the thoughts or whatever, your mindset, let's think about diet, right? So many people, we look at diet as something negative, right? Like diet is a bad word. But literally, if we actually decide to change the messaging, so now we got messaging, right? The communication. If we decide, you know what, I'm not going to see it actually as a diet. I'm going to choose to see it as a healthy eating pattern, right? Healthy eating pattern. Here's what you do. Diet is short term. Diet is something with a negative connotation. I want you, from a thought perspective, I want you to start thinking positive about healthy living, right? Diet, as an example, healthy eating pattern. Focus on, just like the last lady said, portion control. I can eat a little less. I can actually decide that I'm going to eat somewhere at a healthier restaurant. I'm going to eat a little less. I'm going to do portion control. I'm going to decide when I'm eating, because studies have proven actually if you eat every few hours, that's actually better than eating like one large meal. So those are just some of the things that I want you guys to think about. Not remembering it doesn't have to be difficult. You can make it fun. You can make it feel good. Like now when I travel, I actually like to make sure that I'm trying and sampling different foods. I like to eat and buy superfoods, right? Ginger, turmeric, garlic, the different spices, basil, all of those different things make our foods taste good, right? Because here's the deal. I don't want to have a healthy lifestyle that's mundane, boring, and you're doing the same old, same old. No, I want to spice it up. I want to do something different. I want to eat better, but I want my food, even though it's healthy, I want it to taste good. And that's for you to figure out for yourself, what are those healthy ingredients that we need to make our food taste good, right? So it's mindset. It's also messaging. Remember, we were just saying diet for so many people is a bad word. Think long term, right? I'm going to choose to eat healthier foods. Don't even say diet, right? Some people say exercise. To some, it's actually a negative connotation. Just say, you know what? I'm going to get moving. I like walking, right? Walking is actually exercise. So isn't it crazy how just the way that you choose to speak something, to say something, actually has the power to enhance you to be able to be more likely to get that done, right? So we're talking about change, we're talking about mindset, we're talking about messaging, and then we're also talking about movement, right? Movement, actions, what we're doing. Someone else said it earlier, faith without works is dead. So this is the follow through that you have to do, right? And this is the hard part, and this is the biggie that gets a lot of people. We can think it, we can say it, but it really matters not unless we actually commit to doing it, to making it happen. So I want you guys to take it one step at a time, and I want you to commit to changing from unhealthy behaviors to healthy behaviors. I mean, that can be as simple as parking further away at the grocery store to make yourself walk and getting some activity, right? It's simple, right? It can be fun. You can actually say, hey, you and your spouse or your kids, let's take a walk. Let's take a walk outside. Just simple things that you can do. Guys, it doesn't have to be hard or difficult, and you can make it fun and make it feel good for you, right? So we've already talked about mindset, how we're thinking, messaging, how we're speaking, and then we just talked about movement, right? But here's another caveat to this, and we'll be closing soon. The biggest thing about these things is consistency. Consistency is key. The starting and the stopping, we have to get to a place where we're able to choose to keep moving. And even when we stop, because we will fall at some point, right? Even when we stop, each and every time, we have to consistently choose to get back up each time. So when we put this together, and from a spiritual perspective, we make it biblical. If we think about mindset, that's believing, right? That's the believing. If we think about messaging, that's confession. Messaging is confession. If we think about movement and we think about consistent movement, that's faith. That's being faithful. Consistency. I know we say consistency, but I'm a woman of God, right? Faithful. I want to be faithful. And then lastly, to close this out, not only must we believe, confess, and have faith or whatever, most importantly, the lady said it earlier today too, it's a connection. Connection. Guys, it takes a village. We need to be in a community with other people with like-minded philosophies with health, right? With being healthy. We have to surround ourselves and have the relationships where we'll be able to have people who are on the same journey with us on this healthy life journey. That would be me. I want to support you. I want to support you as you also support me, right? Because it takes a village. I am my brother and my sister's keeper. I love you. I want you to be happy, healthy, and whole, and to make this thing work for you in your mind, your body, and your soul, because you're worth it. You are so worth it. So again, this is Coach Tracy T. Mitchell Turner. And as I told you my quote, I want you to feast, feast and enjoy life, each and every bite. That's it.
Tracy, thank you so much. Listen, you gave us some tasty morsels to dine on today. You really did. And listen, I know that you have something that you're giving away as well. You have a wonderful book that is called Sun Kissed that you
Yes.
are giving away. And so the lovely ladies reminded me of something. There was another scribe that I did not see. Well, I did see, but I didn't scroll up enough to see. And so I want to gift and that's interesting that there she is, that we want to make sure that Shonda Smith Little is the recipient of the Sun Kiss book. Shonda,
All right.
thank you so much and congratulations for being the recipient of the Sun Kissed book from Miss Tracy. How about that? That is awesome. Awesome. Listen, we will make sure that you get connected. Please make sure that you are checking out her website, tmitchellspeaks.com.
Mhm.
That is TEE Mitchellspeaks.com. Listen, this is just a snippet of what she has to offer for the total person. You guys get connected. TMitchellSpeaks.com. Thank you so much, Tracy.
Thank
You are
you.
cool. I'm loving it. Thank you. Listen, I told you we had stuff to give away and that we are paying attention. We are, and still there's still more stuff that we're going to be giving away. So stick and stay. We're almost done actually. We have a couple more speakers and then you'll hear from yours truly. And then we are done. But listen, this has been so good. It's amazing. I'm going to say this and I'm going to introduce our next speaker. Excuse me. It's amazing how God orchestrates this. This is not something I put together. This is all these people are assembled because God chose them. God picked them, and even the order that they're coming in. Do you see how they're all woven together? It wasn't like they got together and collaborated and said, this is what we're all going to collectively talk about. No, this was divinely orchestrated. Our next speaker, Kathy Newman. She is the founder and CEO of Kathy Newman Consulting LLC and Women Empowerment Evolution and Experiences. Both businesses are faith-based and veteran-owned. Kathy is a retired Navy veteran who served on active duty for 24 years. Her credentials consist of an MBA specializing in entrepreneurship and bachelor's in business management and leadership. Her businesses are designed to empower women to create positive change and transformation in their lives through personal and professional growth and development. It is my pleasure to introduce to you all a very special woman, Miss Kathy Newman. Kathy, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're excited to have you. Oh my gosh.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Oh, Lord, Miss Cookie, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, so much to look forward to, so many women to follow, and um, I'm just so grateful to have the opportunity to be here to give out the word to people. I first want to give honor and praise to my Savior and Lord Jesus Christ, the head of my household. Thank you to Ms. Cookie for allowing me to be a part of this panel today with these phenomenal women in honor of Women's History Month. Thank you to my family and friends that joined us today. I just can't thank you enough. I also Want to say to my followers, thank you for following me. I try to give out a positive word and lesson for each day. This does not come from me, it comes from the Heavenly Father above. Empowering women to create positive change and transformation in their personal and professional lives is something that is evaluated on a day-to-day basis. Evaluating and redefining your personal growth and professional development is key, I find, in today's world, especially since the pandemic. Me, as a veteran transitioning from the military way of life to civilian way of life, oh my God, took me 2 years to do the complete transformation. Keyword transformation. I had to change my mindset. I went in the military at 17, retired at 42. So I grew up in a certain way of life. Now, for I would say empty nesters, you have kids graduating from high school, going off to college. Now you have to figure out what I'm going to do for myself. I have all this free time. I want to get back into the workforce. So, therefore, we need to find clarity in our purpose. What's your purpose? What's your passion? Also, we have to understand that we have natural and spiritual gifts. We need to combine that together and decide what it is we're designed to do on this earth. And by mapping that together with your personal and professional growth and development, then you have something to offer. Taking control of your life. We all know right now with the pandemic, the world has become a more complex world, and I would say more problems are becoming more urgent. And the need for business owners and entrepreneurs will only grow to an astounding number. If you look around and talk to people, people are actually leaving their jobs that they've held for 20 plus years to come home and run their own business. When do we really start living our life to its full potential? Think about it for a minute. When do we really start living our life to its full potential? What about living your life on your own terms? How are you going to do that? Do you have a system in place? Which takes me back to some of the things that the women talked about earlier. Confidence. Do you have enough confidence in yourself to step out on faith to start your own business? Systems. What type of systems do you have in place? For a business, you have to have business planning processes. Emotional therapy and stability. Again, mindset. Transitioning. We always have to transition between things change. People always think change is bad, but change can be good. Change can be for the better. Healthy living. We need to be living a healthier life, starting from the inside and coming out. As women, we are ever evolving throughout life. We are forever evolving, from a little girl to a young lady to a young woman to a seasoned and mature woman. Along the way, we stumble and fall. We acquire some bumps and bruises, hurt feelings, and even broken hearts. But in the end, we get up and we dust ourselves off, right? We keep pushing forward. But remember this, with pushing forward and being a problem fixer, we have to take care of ourselves. Sometimes we have to take that S off our chest and lay it to the side, right? People's mindset today is being afraid, having fear. When the pandemic hit, everybody was afraid of the uncertainty. But I truly believe that if you trust in God and trust in His word, you will prevail. Never be afraid to trust an unknown future to a known God. Remember whose you are. You are God's child. Stop letting life pass you by. Always remember it could be worse. Only you can change your life for the better. You are in charge of your destiny. You can do anything that you set your mind to do. I'm quite sure you remember your parents or your grandparents telling you that. Tiny steps lead to massive leaps. Changing your life will take effort, perseverance, and time. And just remember with time is the one thing we can never get back. So you always have to use your time wisely. On the business side, becoming a disciplined entrepreneur or business owner. Entrepreneurship is more than just a mindset, but a skill set as well. It's imperative to have a business planning process. The interest in entrepreneurship has escalated over the years, even more so since the pandemic set in. I think every woman on this panel today has a business, and they're considered entrepreneurs or successful business owners. The greatest entrepreneurs we know, and these names are Steve Jobs, Richard Branson, Bill Gates, and others, they all had one unique thing in common. They made great, successful products. Using your skill set to break down the necessary processes needed to create the foundation for your entire business. Whether you are creating a physical product, a service, or just the delivery of information. Entrepreneurship is not easy, it's hard, and it can be quite chaotic at times. However, situations that are innately unpredictable require a system framework that allows you to reduce your risk by identifying and addressing areas that you can control. Once again, we're talking about systems. Systematic frameworks can guide you in creating a new venture for yourself. The piece I want to talk about most is health and wellness in business. Your mind. I always say meditate on the word, not your word, but God's word. Listen to what God has to say. As I said before, my God is the head of my household. My God is the head of my business. Anytime that I'm troubled, I'm journaling, I'm writing things down, and I'm thinking about things for my business, I take it to the King. I take it to the throne. I pray over it and I leave it at the altar. And I wait for my God to present me with an answer or a solution. Positive affirmations, they work. Write them down. Write them on post-its. Post them on your wall. Post them in your car. Post them on your bathroom mirror. And I tell you, they work. They build you up throughout the day. All right? Alone time. Not a long time to sulk, but a long time to get your mind right. Sometimes you may need to get away from everyone and love from afar. Take a weekend getaway by yourself. Just get a room. Stay away. Relax your mind, your soul, and your spirit. And sometimes clinical therapy helps as well. I know in some cultures we think, oh, I'm not going to see a psychiatrist. I'm not crazy. It has nothing to do with you being crazy or unstable. Sometimes you need someone objective in the room to help clear your thoughts. For me, yes, I went to go see a therapist and I had to learn that I couldn't be the superwoman all the time. I had to take the S off my chest and put it to the side and get me right before I can continue and try to fix someone else. Give yourself alone time in the morning. That's my devotional time. I use that time to pray. I use that time to get into the word because I know once I leave my house, my world is chaotic with everything that's happening inside. At night, downtime, 15 to 20 minutes before you go to bed. Shut off the phone, shut off the TV, shut off the music. Get into yourself, into what your brain. Give your brain time to shut down so you can relax. Relax your mind, body, soul, and spirit. We're talking about the body. Listen to your body's warning signs. When you're breaking down, you're sick, you're having a cold. And I know with the pandemic, every time you sneeze or cough, you thought you had COVID. But no, that could just be a sign of your body saying, hey, I need some rest. I need some downtime. For me, as for myself, I found out I had an excessive amount of sick days because when I'm sick, I still go to work. No, take the time to get your rest. Exercise on a regular. Massage therapy, acupuncture. Take a spa day. Soul and spirit. I love this. Fellowship. I love fellowshipping. Go to a retreat. Fellowship at church. Get into a women's group. Even if it's a book group. I love reading. Business network gathering. However you want to do it. In person, on Zoom, however, get out there and fellowship. I know we had a lot of time well spent today, but before we end, I would like to share a prayer that I found, and I found it so unique for today. It's called Time Well Spent. Our prayer is that women everywhere will learn to live as sisters, to respect others' differences, to heal each other's wounds, to promote each other's progress, and to benefit from each other's knowledge. Amen. Miss Cookie, thank you, and everyone be blessed. You can reach me at my website, www.kathycnewman.com, or on any of my social media platforms. Every day to my followers, I share with them the devotionals that I read and go through every morning because I know it's someone out there that needs to hear that word of the day. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you so much. I know that part of what you have blessed us with is you also are gifting 30-minute sessions as well with your coaching practice. And so there are two people, and I want to see if you're still on. I'm going to gift this to two people. Is Raina Saunders still on? If you're still on, Raina, let us know that you are still on. Well, okay. I see if Raina Saunders, if you're still on, I see that you made a comment. Also, I want to make sure, and this was from YouTube, I want to go back and make sure that I'm saying it the way it's on there. Chit Chat Chew New Show podcast. If you're still on YouTube, if you would let us know that you're on. So Raina Saunders and Chit Chat Chew Show podcast. Say that fast 3 times. You will be the recipients of the 30-minute coaching call. Wonderful.
Yes, take that S off your chest. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So Raina Saunders, if you're still on, let us know. And Chit Chat Chew Show podcast, if you're still on YouTube, you will be the recipients. I know there's a little bit of a lag time, so I'm giving you an opportunity to come on and let us know that you are still here. Chit Chat Chew Show podcast, that's a mouthful, and Raina Saunders. Raina, thank you. I see you, Raina. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. And I'm giving Chit Chat Chew Show podcast 5 more seconds from YouTube. If not, I'm going to go on to the next. Okay. If Dr. from YouTube, if Dr. M. Black is still on, which I believe so, I believe you just made a comment. You will be the recipient of the 30-minute coaching session with Kathy Newman. Yay! Congratulations. Oh, Chit Chat Chew is here. Oh, she said, well, please give it to someone else unknown. Oh, love it, love it, love it. So Dr. M. Black and Raina Saunders, and thank you for your selflessness, Chit Chat Chew Show podcast. Ooh, that's a mouthful, child. So listen, thank you again, Kathy. You are a tremendous jewel, and we are blessed by you. Listen, our next guest, so we're down to the last two. Myself, you'll hear at the end, and our next guest who's coming on now, that oh my gosh, I'm so elated to introduce you guys to. She and I met. You know what? I don't remember what year it was, but we just kind of connected, right? and she is Shavander Cookie Dykes. I tell everybody whenever we're together, you can't go wrong with cookies, right? You can't really go wrong with two cookies. Who can eat just? It's like Lay's potato chips. You just can't have one cookie. You can't do it. So now you have two, right? Shavander Cookie Dykes is the founder and director of Surviving Transitions LLC. She is a licensed professional counselor in the state of Georgia and a national certified counselor through excuse me, through the National Board of Certified Counselors. Additionally, Shavander is a certified clinical trauma professional, a master addiction counselor, a certified anger management specialist, and a certified professional clinical supervisor. Come on now. She earned an undergraduate degree in management from National Louis University and graduate degree in community counseling from Argosy University, formerly known as George Professional School of Psychology. Shavander previously served as clinical director for core agencies, lead therapist, case manager, and community support staff before opening a private practice and working collaboratively with Ms. Heather Conyers of Healing Hearts Counseling Center in Douglasville, Georgia. Additionally, she's worked in both outpatient and inpatient settings. And just overall, she is a beautiful human being. It is my honor and pleasure to present to you Shavander Cookie Dykes. Thank you so much, Shavander, for being here with us, or Cookie, for being here with us. I am over the moon excited, and the floor is now yours.
Thank you, Cookie. Good afternoon. I have been over here cheering for all of my sisters and the wisdom nuggets that they have dropped earlier. Um, I know God has a reason for everything, and it is just divine timing because sitting here taking notes and clapping and literally yelling at the screen because they are really, really dropping nuggets that are spot on. I thank you all, to all of my esteemed sisters who went before me. Thank you. Thank you. I am going to speak today on grief because I'm not sure if I know anyone who has not been directly impacted since March 2020 when the global pandemic started. For me personally, I have lost colleagues, I've lost family members, and I just know that grief is one of the things that I'm speaking for me. I had to get better with managing and going through those stages. I'm trying to think when. So the pandemic started March 2020. So this is almost our third year. For over two plus years, we've been in a global pandemic. Our life shifted from what we knew as normal. So the loss of what we once knew, getting up, going to school every single day with friends, riding on the bus for children, that was a stressor because that was no longer there. There was a loss for that. Um, Even working differently now. Many individuals are working from home, they're working remotely, they have not returned to the office. So, when I think about grief, this is what comes to mind. I know we are often told that to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord, right? What does that mean? That means, okay, I've lost my loved one, I will no longer see them, and I know they're no longer suffering. However, for me, the believer, I'm going to be honest, it hurts. I miss being able to see my grandmother. I miss being able to have a talk with my father. I miss being able to see my aunt. All of these things, they directly impact me mentally, physically. Every dimension of wellness they impact because that's a transition that I have to work through. So I do know that there are stages to grief. For me, I've come up with my own stages, not to negate the actual stages of grief, but to better help me deal with what I was going through and to cope in a manner that would allow me to be the best person I needed at that time. I had to come up with 5 steps. These 5 steps for me are triple A, H, and G. This is really, really to help me with the grief because prior to coming on today and late last night, I was helping a colleague complete an obituary for her father. So it's just been grief all around us. And I can't minimize that in any way. If you don't know anyone that has been impacted, you are truly blessed. Let me say that. But I just know that we have had significant losses since March 2020. So the first A is acceptance. When dealing with grief, oftentimes denial sets in immediately, and you begin to think, no, that's not possible. Just talked to this person 20 minutes ago, just talked to them 7 days ago. I know they're still here. That's classic denial. They're not. So once we begin to accept that person's purpose has been served, unfortunately, they have transitioned. And I know that that's easier said than done. That in itself is a process. But grief will have you in the bed, grief will have you isolating, grief can turn into depression, grief can turn into anxiety, and you can just literally not really want to be around anybody but to yourself. So once you begin accepting the loss, I think for me, that helped me tremendously because I began to realize that, okay, this is finality. And it may not look pretty, it may feel messy, but I know the same God that woke me up this morning, He will get me through this and much more. The second A is allow. Allow yourself to connect with your feelings. Don't avoid it. There is nothing wrong with crying. There is nothing wrong with saying, hey, I really, really need to take some time for me because this is past overwhelming and I'm not well right now. Now, being I'm not well, that's not a bad thing. That just means I have a lot on my plate and now I'm dealing with death. Okay. That loss supersedes anything we know because it's not our loved one, it's someone else's loved one. But for me personally, I had to put everything on hold, whether that's business, meetings, community events. I just could not deal at that time because I had to be okay sitting in this grief and working my way through it again, which was a process. So many people go on autopilot when they are going through loss. They've experienced loss, death, even for that of a pet. But for me, I couldn't go on autopilot. I had to really, really sit with it. So again, acceptance, allowing yourself to connect with your feelings. Don't avoid your feelings. The third A is acknowledge. Acknowledge the loss. Again, it ties back into denial and kind of looking like, maybe this is a bad dream. Maybe it's a mistake. No one makes a mistake and says, hey, so and so took their last breath. If someone communicated it 9 times out of 10, or maybe even 10 times out of 10, it's official, it happened. Okay. The H, honor their time. You learn something from the individual that is no longer here. I don't care if it was your grandmother, grandfather, aunt, uncle, you learned something. What is it that you learned from them that will help you carry forward? What is it that you've learned that they may have instilled in you from the time you were a toddler, childhood, or even up to adulthood? What is it that you will take away from your time with them? That's something you have to answer. I know for me, with my grandparents, my grandmothers particularly, it was their recipes. I have a lot of recipes that I can make in my sleep because I've learned from them. I've been around while they were preparing these dishes. And when I cook these dishes, for me, it's comforting because it tastes good, but it also reminds me of both of my grandmothers who are no longer here. The G says, the G is for go. I'm sorry, go. Go forth after reflecting on all of the lessons Learn from the relationships or friendships of those that are no longer here. When you're going forth, you will always carry a piece of them with you in your heart. So that won't change, but how are you going forth? Are you reflecting on what they taught you and really applying those life lessons? If so, what do they look like for you? Oftentimes it may look like, hey, I may cook a whole feast and nobody's here to eat it but me. That's okay. Because eventually someone may stop by and they may want a plate. We may all be able to get together, of course, in a safe fashion since the pandemic, but it's how you're choosing to go forth. If that's, hey, my grandmother had a large field. She loved flowers, plants, and even crops. That may be creating a raised community bed um, in the backyard, a garden. It may just be taking care of one plant and seeing, hey, I don't really have a green thumb, but this plant is still alive. So, based on that, and you being able to go through your grief and not avoid it, I think that is in itself, that's huge, because a lot of times grief can become complicated. And I know it's not intentional, but it can become complicated when you think of someone literally taking their last breath alone. When you think of someone 4 or 5 hours away, you can't get to them. All of the challenges that are associated with a global pandemic, it just really changes everything that you once knew and valued as normal, because you can't just get over it. And it's not normal anymore. This is our new normal. And whether we like it or not, we have to be okay with coping during these difficult times and being able to go forth to be our best self. Acceptance. Allow yourself to connect with your feelings. Don't avoid them. Acknowledge the loss, honor their time, and go forth. Those are my 5 tips for today to really help anyone that may be struggling with grief and may just be stuck in some of the stages, whether that's denial, shock, anger, any of those stages that you're stuck, any of those stages that you are stuck in. I want you to know that you are not alone. God is always with you. He hears you. And more importantly, He loves you. Thank you all. And thank you, Cookie, for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. Listen, you are so right. This is a blanket that touches everybody. And something you said just made me smile when you mentioned about the recipes and some of the things that we receive from those who had transitioned. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I did, now of course this transition didn't take place during the pandemic, it was actually 2018, as you have definitely helped me navigate through this when my best friend passed away. I got some plants. And I laugh at myself now because it was, but I don't have a green thumb. It's brown. It's been brown my whole life. It's brown thumb. But I got my plants. They were Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. If y'all know New Edition, y'all already. And I did good with Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. I did good with those. And it was very helpful to go outside because
Mm-hmm.
they were outside. And it was very helpful for me to dealing with me. Because sometimes I just needed to be away, like you said, just give me a minute. But
Mm-hmm.
being with my plants, actually putting my hands in the dirt, getting them what they needed, buying stuff. I didn't even know what I was buying, plant food. I didn't even know if it was a right food for that type of plant, but I did it. And it
Mm-hmm.
was so helpful. And I thank you so much for giving us those tips and tools, knowing that grief touches everyone, but it does not have to hold you. And if and that there is help. And so you see on your screen how to connect with survivingtransitions.com. Excuse me. Listen, you can go on her website. There's information and resources. You can contact her. She has been a person that has been able to guide me to who to call in case of, right? I was able to contact her in a situation where help was needed, and she was right there. And so sometimes you need that. You need that, and I appreciate you, my cookie sister. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate you. And I'm hoping as the others who are on here have received so much from what you have shared. It has been such a blessing, and I appreciate you to the utmost. So listen, excuse me. I am honored that these ladies have participated in this. I don't even want to call it an expo, in this experience. That's what we're going to call it. In this 2022 women's health and wellness experience. So as I close out, I'm going to do, so we've been talking about mind, body, and soul. And so as I close out, I'm going to do the soul part. I'm going to talk to us about the soul a little bit. But interestingly enough, you've been hearing it ever since Beth started us out. So for those of you who do not know me, I am Chelselia Cookie Payne. I'm the founder of Payne and Glory Incorporated. I am also a certified women's inner power and purpose coach. I not only have Payne and Glory Incorporated, which is a 501c3 organization, I also recently launched or expanded. I had already had a coaching practice, Epitome Coaching, which had been in business. We started in 2014, but on February 22nd of this year, we expanded it to become the Payne Purpose Academy. So I have that going on. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a licensed minister, but I'm also human. I love the Lord, and I'm human. So we were talking, and when I say we, I was talking to some people at different segments, because a part of what we do in Payne and Glory, for those of you who are new to us, we have an initiative that is a part of our platform called Payne in the Pews, Mental Health and Ministry. And that's where we try, our effort is to bridge the gap between the mental health and faith communities, knowing that you can indeed have faith and a therapist at the same time. You can be anointed and have a therapist at the same time. And so because of Payne in the Pews, Mental Health and Ministry, it has afforded me the opportunity to speak to several people, clergy, people who have left the church for whatever reason. I've talked to several people. So in some of these conversations that I've had over the past, we started this initiative in 2014, but I've been in this walk. I'm 53. I've been in this for a minute. My mom, pretty much had me at church. After her 6 weeks of after having me, we were at church, and I've been there since then. Praise the Lord. So I've had conversations, right? And one thing that you all have heard, we all have heard, that gets kind of pushed down or pushed aside or negated is church hurt. And notice how I even did the air quotes. Church hurt. Because come on, people, I've heard many times people who have negated it and say the church didn't hurt you, you just decided to X, Y, and Z. No, not necessarily the case. Now, we're not talking about God hurt, because we can be hurt by God. And let's be honest, we just talked about a way that we can feel like we're hurt by God. We just talked about grief. You can't, I love the Lord. I'm saved, believe God with all my heart. But when my best friend passed away, I was hurt. Why didn't he show me? But he did. He did. But why? Why now? Why all these? So I'm not talking about God hurt, because we all, there have been situations, circumstances, and situations that have caused us to say, oh, God, come on now. We got to talk about this. Come on now. Right? Whether it is a loss of a loved one through transition, or through divorce, or just a friendship, whatever it may be. It may be a health issue. We've had the God conversations, whether we want to admit it or not. We've had, God, I ain't too pleased with this. And you may not have said it out your mouth, but your prayer life said it. I'm just saying, I want to talk to you right now. We ain't cool right now. We ain't cool like that right now. And that's okay. God understands that. I'm not talking about that kind of hurt. Because we know how to rebound from that. We really do. We know that in the word is found solace in everything, every God issue you have, the word of God has a resolve for that. He has an ointment for that, right? He is the ultimate physician. He is the great physician. So whatever God issue we have, we got the remedy for that. We just got to give us a minute, God. We got it. I got you. I got you. I got you. I'm gonna be back in a minute. But it's a church hurt, right? That gets swept under the rug, that gets put aside, that gets trampled, right? So I'm gonna talk for a little bit about nuns and duns, and then I'm gonna talk about, because we're talking about health and wellness. So I don't want to linger on one thing. I want to give you not only the issue, but the diagnosis, but the solution as well, right? So I did a presentation. I was asked on a couple of times to do a presentation called Nuns and Duns, and that's a consolidated name. It was a whole presentation. Excuse me, but nuns, not those that serve in Catholicism. No, I'm talking about NONES, and duns, DONES, right? Let me for a minute tell you the difference. Nuns and duns. So nuns, NONES, who are persons who have no religious affiliation, not necessarily atheists or agnostics, just don't ascribe to anything, just none, literally, just none, right? There was a surge in 2013, I apologize, 2003, not 2013, 2003, where we saw a surge of nuns and duns. And it may have been that it may have been sooner than that, but I think that it was people were paying attention to it then. We saw a surge then 2003, and then we saw another surge come around 2014, and then during the pandemic. Duns are the ones that we're really going to focus on. I don't know a whole lot about the nuns, if I'm being honest with you, because I can't relate and I haven't seen enough research on it personally to give you enough feedback on why a person would be a nun. But I've seen a whole lot about duns. These are people who believe in God, love God, serve God, but are done with church, or church as we know it. These people, the duns, and you can look them up. Listen, there are Facebook groups that are filled with hundreds of them. You can go, when we get off, go on Facebook and look up the Facebook groups. Look up nuns and look up duns. You can look up nuns as well. You'll see. You can Google it. Nuns and duns. People who have been hurt by, confused by, or just have a disdain for the politics of the way church is run. Now, keep in mind, I did not say ministry. I said church. There is a difference. So in these nuns, I'm sorry, duns, DONES, I have talked to quite a few. And before you have the thought, I wanna pierce this thought before it comes into your mind that it's just millennials. Oh no, ma'am. Oh no, sir. The majority of people, when I start hearing about nuns and duns, or really duns, were people who were in their 40s and 50s. It wasn't the 35-year-old crew. It wasn't the 30 crew. It wasn't a 25. No. No. It was the 40 and 50-year-olds. The ones who came up in church and were now saying, no, this is not, no. This has no scriptural background. No, why are you treating people like that? No, why are certain people being treated like that and this people being treated like this? No, that's not even in the Bible. Those people, 40 and 50s, 60s, That's what I'm talking about. And so you've got people who are walking around wounded. There's a book that I have on my bookshelf. I haven't even read it yet. I can't. I was about to say I can't bring myself to read it. I just have not read it. It says, "Why do Christians shoot their wounded?" I have it on my bookshelf right now. Why do Christians shoot their wounded? How hurtful is that? That I'm already wounded. I'm already, let me take it to a mental health place, because since that's our wheelhouse here, Payne and the Pew's mental health and ministry, let me take it there. I'm already grieving the loss of my loved one. I'm already dealing with depression. I'm already having suicidal ideations, but you don't call it that. You call it a spirit, and you begin to ostracize me, not in a way that you have banished me and made me feel like you can't come here anymore, but because of the actions that you've treated me in, because you're not addressing me, the person, you're addressing a spirit, and that spirit may or may not be there. That's like me going into a room and my name is Chelsealia, or someone coming into a room, my name is Chelsealia, and someone coming in and saying, Rhonda, come here. Rhonda, come here. I'm not going to move because my name is not Rhonda. You're calling for the wrong thing. And so you're trying to address something that's not something in an effect to be in an attempt to be effective or seem deep. But where is the help when this person is having a suicidal ideation, who's going to the altar to get help and then leaving out feeling as though they're the issue? Church hurt. What about the person whose marriage did not quite work out, and they are treated in such a way, and this is a real account, this is really something that happened to someone, and I'll dare not share their name, I dare not share if it was the husband or the wife, but how hurtful is it that the person who was in the wrong but had the better job was the one that was treated better than the person who was really wronged and they had to leave? Church hurt. What about the young mother who became pregnant by someone in the church? Come on, y'all seen it. But the person who got them pregnant, it's all right, he's all right. But the young lady, she's got to be sat down or made an example of. She's got to be sat over here. Church hurt. What about being told that you're not good enough to be a part of this? Maybe not verbally, but in action. We're talking about a sovereign God that loves and wants us to love on one another and be there for one another and show love one to another. So we have to rely upon our relationship with the Father. We have to go back to that Beth spoke about in the beginning. We have to go back to that confidence, that squared shouldered, head up confidence in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, knowing that we are whom He called us to be. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are His chosen generation. We are His. We are an heir and a joint heir. We can walk in that confidence. We can be who Monet said we could be. We cannot have to be everything to everybody, but we can be human in this human experience, and we can be glad about it, no matter the fact that, yes, this is happening, and yes, that hurt. Oh, yes, it hurt. But I'm not going to let it hold me hostage, because Monet let us know that we don't have to be held hostage to what we're going through, but we can thrive and we can move on and we can keep going. We don't have to be shackled and chained and bound up by it. We heard Keisha tell us that there are systems that we can put in place. The Bible is full of systems that we can put in place. We have a whole armor of God that we can put on, that we can guard ourselves with, that we don't have to carry around an ought with our brother. We don't have to carry around, we don't have to shoulder the burden of someone else's insecurities. Come on now. just because you're insecure about your faith. No, no, no. I'm not insecure in mine. I have a system in place. And my system tells me that when I get up in the morning, I can give myself an affirmation, like our sister said earlier. We can speak to ourselves. And we can say, we can command our day. There is power in our tongue. There's life and death in our tongue. We have a mechanism. We can be who we were called to be, and we don't have to wait on man's validation because our Heavenly Father has given it to us. So there is a soul salve. There is health and wellness for our soul. There is help for the wounded soul. There's always healing in the master's hand. So when you hear someone talk about church hurt, don't negate it. Don't push it aside. Don't tell them, oh, and please don't say one of my least favorite sayings. It's just my least favorite saying. That's just how they are. You know how they are, because what that does is negates a person's experience and gives the okay for bad behavior. But instead, the person that's experiencing the hurt, embrace them, build them up, show them that there is, in fact, healing available. And they don't have to, as Monet said, they don't have to stay there. We can come up out of it. We serve a God that is able. And if you're not sure, if you're not confident in that, there are 9 women on here that can help you in that transition of getting to understand. If you're not there, if you need some help with any of these areas, listen, we've got coaches who can coach us on our health and wellness, like Kylie told us. We've got coaches like Tracy. We've got coaches like Kathy. We've got coaches like Monet and Sasha. Listen, we've got you covered, all full of faith. Because sometimes all you need is somebody to help you. All you need is a listening ear. All you need, come on here, somebody, is a system. Keisha, you better know it. We need some systems. We need to be able to know that there are steps like Shavana just gave us. Because when we're talking about grief, it's not always when someone passes away. But you better know that that grief can be so deep and ingrained in us because of something that was said to us when we were a kid, when we were a teenager, over the pulpit, in the pews, at the house. But there is healing available. And because you're here today and this 2020 women's health and wellness experience, you are a recipient of that healing. You, my dear, are a recipient. So listen, our final giveaway of the day. I think I got everybody. Our final giveaway of the day is, as I told you, excuse me, I am a certified women's inner purpose and power coach. My goal is to help women eliminate the self-sabotaging thoughts, mannerisms, thoughts, and behaviors, and get them on track going towards their God-given purpose. And whether that means monetizing your purpose or your own self-development, whatever that means for you, whether you wanted to involve it in your business or your personal development, I'm here to help. And so I am going to be giving away I'm giving away 2 30-minute sessions with me. 2 30-minute sessions with me. And we're going to get to the get to. We're going to get to it. So the first person that I see in the comments say that in the comments say healed, the first 2 people, because I said I'm giving away 2, the first 2 people to type in healed, HEALED, I was about to add extra letters, HEALED, you will be the recipient, the first two people. So I see Raina, if you haven't already won, I should have put in that caveat. If you have not already won something, oh my goodness, I love all of y'all, but all of y'all have won. Raina, T.L. Harris, Tracy Brownlee, Conley Bray. I I should have put in that caveat. I'm sorry, y'all. If you have not already won something, I definitely want you to. And if I have to pick someone that's already won, I don't mind. Um, excuse me. Um, but I think goodness we've given away quite two. Let's see here. I think Michelle has won something. Alice, Alice, I have not seen Alice. Alice, you're the recipient of one of the 30-minute coaching sessions with me. We will get it booked. Definitely. Alice Hagens, definitely. Absolutely. So I'm going to wait another second. So again, if you've not already won something and to win a 30-minute session with me as your purpose coach, yay, Alice. Yes, indeed. If you type healed in the comment, if not, I'm going to pick one from one just randomly from one of the ladies that's already. Regina King. Okay. Yes, Regina King. So Alice Hagens and Regina King. Yes, indeed. I am elated. We're going to work together. We're going to have a good time, ladies. Be prepared to take notes because I'm going to give you some work. So listen, I am over the moon honored to have had these ladies to be a part of this experience. That it says Expo over here, but this has been an experience. If you would like to join us in furthering our efforts here at Pain and Glory, we welcome your donations. We offer things like mental health first aid. Listen, that is a powerful tool because if you don't know what to do to help someone, the mental health first aid will definitely help you. We offer other things such as care. We have a caregivers initiative. That we have here. So we would love for you to not only stay connected to us on all of our social media platforms, which is at Pain and Glory. You're here now, so you already know how to connect with us here on social media. But I would love for you to donate to us. You can do so via PayPal or via Cash App to make your donation. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so your donation would absolutely be tax deductible. Isn't that awesome? Don't you love that? So we would love for you to donate to us, and I'll share with you how to do so. And so I really want to thank each one of our presenters. I really want to thank Keisha Way, who has been behind the scenes, who has helped us to make this production possible. I want to thank each of you. Again, if you want to donate to us, you can do so be it via Cash App or PayPal. We definitely the funds that you donate, we actually post what we do. We don't keep behind the scenes. What we do, we share, and you'll see it. Our next event is going to be May the 7th, the day before Mother's Day. Our annual, I believe this is our 12th year, our annual mother-daughter love retreat. In 2020, we shifted it. Every year for up to that year, it was only for moms and their teenage daughters, so daughters from age 12 to 19. In 2020, that shifted. And it's interesting because for years, adult women were asking when were we going to have something for adult daughters and their mothers, because some of the things we covered, it was necessary for those relationships to be restored as well. So in 2020, we expanded it to be all mothers and all daughters. So if we're female, we're somebody's daughter. And so we did that. And so this year is no different. And it will be May the 7th. So look out for more information on that. Listen, this has been a great ride. This has been a great experience. I hope that you have gotten something out of it. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did. For those of you who won um, uh, a prize, a gift, either inbox us or email us. Make sure that you email us. The email is inside the chat, info@payneandglory.com. If you don't inbox us, just to let us know what you won, and so we can connect you with the right people. And listen, we thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again next year.